everybody. Happy Saturday. Welcome on in. I hope you're all having absolutely wonderful days. Yeah, it's so good to be here. Welcome back. It's episode 5 of 6. So next week is the season finale. Wow. I can't believe it's February. I hope everybody's doing super well. We are going to, as always, just go over a couple of things and then we're gonna get right into things. So first of all, reminder number 1, all bits spent on the channel today goes towards the mod team. The mod team is amazing and they're doing a lot of work to help us stay in the game and continue like telling this story while they take care of chat. So we have a lot of love and appreciation for the mods. If you would like to support us and what we're doing, you can do so through our Pally, !DnD, I believe is what takes you to the Pally. Or you can go to intothedarkness.show. 25% of tips through there go towards our production fee. We are saving up for character arts. If you're like, wait, but there's only 2 episodes left, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Don't think about it.
Don't worry your little head. It's fine.
And that's all we're gonna say right now. And yeah, the rest of that goes towards paying the cast for the storytelling that we're bringing every Saturday night. I would also like to give a little PSA reminder because I've been seeing some whispers of people wanting to get into D&D or other TTRPGs and being nervous or afraid because they feel like they might not have the attention span, they might not be good at math, all of these other things. I would just like to say, if anybody ever tells you that you can't play D&D, just give me their address. I just want to talk. D&D is for everybody.
Join us.
And yeah, and join us.
Talk, you know.
Yeah,
talk.
we just want to talk.
Yeah, as a
D&D is
team,
for
as a group.
everybody. Anybody can play D&D. I was gonna say 5 out of 6. There's 5 of us here. 4 out of 5 of us are neurodivergent, and I think we're doing just fine. D&D is something that you can work with your group to make work for you.
Maybe.
I've surrounded
least.
myself with enough people who are that maybe I am.
At least 4 out of 5 of us.
You're reaching that peak. It's like, well, I thought, but now that I'm here.
But anyways, D&D is for everybody. You can always make changes in the game to make sure everybody is safe, having fun, and that D&D works for you. If D&D isn't for you, there are so many other TTRPGs out there. Some of them are less math focused, some of them are space focused, or if fantasy is not your thing, there are so many worlds to explore, and there are so many different ways to do it. So again, D&D is for everybody. If anybody tries to gatekeep, we just want to talk to them. Just a little chit chat. So, on the topic of safety, we are using safety tools. We have, at the beginning of the season, we did a survey where everybody went through and said green, yellow, or red to a bunch of different topics that could come up. And we also are able to check in if any cast member feels uncomfortable during a scene, they could DM me and it will remain anonymous. So that way there is ongoing consent. And that way they also have a way to do it that's not on camera since we are live on Twitch. Or if they're comfortable and they want something to stop now, they can also just go like that and be like, no, X card, I'd like, and then we rewind, we fix the scene, we take a break if we need to, and we move on. We do have a content warning in chat. I believe it's !TW for a trigger warning.
CW, yeah.
Okay. CW, yeah. Just to keep in mind, this is an 18 plus show. We're going to be working in the future to have a website. Thank you, Squace, for the $50 donation to the Pally. Thank you so much for that. Like I said, it's going towards getting some character art commissioned as well as taking care of us. So thank you so much. But yeah, we're going to be making like a card website so that we can have information about our safety tools as well as our characters and everything else you need to know about Into the Darkness. That'll be available soon. If you ever feel uncomfortable, please take care of yourself. If you need to lurk, if you need to leave, or if you need to just mute and ask a mod to let you know when something is over, all of that is completely valid. So just make sure you're checking in with yourself, taking care of yourself. Always put yourself first. So that is our housekeeping, I think. We're gonna go over some goals in a minute. We'll do a recap. we'll get into things. Let's do the recap first, and then we'll do goals. So currently, our adventurers they were in a town that they had traveled to deal with both a monster problem, but after they got there, they also learned that there's like a little bit of an undead problem. There's some zombies and some other things that are not supposed to happen. The town received a letter from the local wizard saying, hey, I know something, please send somebody to talk. And our adventurers were like, we're somebody, we'll go talk to them. So they traveled out of the town through the jungle towards the wizard's tower. Unfortunately, there is something that seems to be, I don't know if it's chasing them, but it's big and it's scary, and it gives them all bad vibes. So they've been running away from a giant monster. And unfortunately, at the end of last episode, they were on the edge of a cliff trying to figure out how to cross it when they heard the giant monster coming, and they had to figure out very quickly how to get across the cliff. So what they came up with is, I believe Meep has a flying broomstick that she's just finished attuning with, and so Meep is riding the broomstick with Dragomir, and a shrunken fell because Meep cast enlarge reduce and reduced his size to make it so that they could all be on the broom together. And then Illyria, because she's an Azamar, did the thing where all her wings went out. It was really cool. And then they flew across the chasm as this giant unseen monster is chasing them. I think the only other important thing was that Dragomir has a friend that's a monkey, and Meep wanted to be its friend, but the monkey was a little bit lukewarm, and Meep was like, no, you. So I think that's most of what happened last time. Let's go.
Screaming mushrooms. Did you talk about the screaming mushrooms?
Oh yeah, there were screaming mushrooms. I forgot about that. Meep took a bean and planted it in the ground, and the bean sprung up into several large shrieking mushrooms, which created a lot of sound, which was maybe a distraction, but also told the giant thing that was chasing them exactly where they were. So, apples and oranges. Yeah. Let's go over some goals. Dragomir, what are your 3 goals for this week?
So we have, for the first goal, is story time with the party. We're going to tell a little story to the group at some point. Hopefully, we'll see what happens. Goal 2 is to help Illyria make or appreciate something beautiful, because I just haven't helped my friend very much yet, and I kind of want to do that. And goal 3 is the one that's been going on forever, to help Keswick dealing with a monster problem.
Hell yeah. Good goals. Thank you. No, I'm not going to ask questions. We'll find out. Let's do Illyria next.
All right. We have some updates. Okay, the first one is still make her appreciate something beautiful daily. Mostly because that's like what she considers to be like worshiping. And then ask the wizard about true followers of fate and clerics of Onos. She thinks he might know something. Maybe. Because he's a wizard. He had to go to school, right? And then find a cleric of Onos is now goal 3.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Those are going to be fun. Let's do Meep next.
Okay. So 2 of my goals have carried over from the past couple of weeks. One is I'm still looking for a pet of some kind, not a monkey. We've established that. Not that monkey. Goal number 2, I need to buy a $300 flower, a 300 gold flower to summon Fae again, potentially in the future. So I'm looking for a 300 gold flower. Number 3 is I'm still looking for the most perfect hat in the whole world. We're still looking for Meep's hat. So
amazing. Incredible. Which you currently have a needle. No, you have thread. You have thread, yeah. But you're looking for the most perfect needle. Yep. Amazing. And then Fel.
Well, I need to find the Australian red leaf.
Tiny Fel is my favorite.
I need to find the Australian red leaf. I'm gonna try out my new eagle eyes that I got from leveling up. And
Ooh.
then I want to see, like, I want to try to cook something I draw. So since we have those paints, I want to see what happens when I draw something and then we cook it. Like if we can eat it.
Interesting.
Yeah, I thought so too.
I'll have to think about that, I suppose. Okay. So, is everybody ready? Chat, are you ready?
Ready, chat?
Woo! Let's play some D&D. So, our opening scene is we see a large golden desert. There is a sandstorm blowing through it. So there's lots of like sand sparkling in the sunshine. And through the sand, we see a figure. We see a figure walking through the sands. They have like scarves over their head. They appear to like have like a lot of like fabric on them, and we just kind of see them like moving through the storm. And then we get a closer shot of them, and we see that they are wearing a golden face mask that conceals what they look like, and their entire body is covered in different fabrics. As we see them, they kind of pause and then like reach into their cloak and pull out what looks like a pocket watch. And they open it up, and we see the face of the watch, and instead of hands and numbers, there's a constellation of stars in this on the face of this watch. And they look at it for a second, and they sigh and they say, "Oh, I'm running late." And then they snap the watch closed and put it back. And then they continue rummaging through their pockets, and they pull out a tiny hourglass and hold it like up in their outstretched hands. And the hourglass at first just looks like very like plain and delicate and simple, and then it raises in their palm and it begins to spin, and the sand moving through it begins to shimmer like stars. And as this happens, the sandstorm that's blowing around them freezes, and all of the sand stops. And then the figure walks forward and like brushes this frozen sand like out of the way as it glimmers in the sun. And then again, with like the hourglass still spinning in one hand, with their other hand they reach out and they part like a curtain and create a rift. We don't see what's inside, but they basically part the air and pull it back like a curtain and slip through it and disappear. And the rift closes behind them, and then the sand begins to swirl once more. And that's our opening scene. We then cut to Meep clinging to a broomstick, speeding through the air as fast as she can. She's just gone over a chasm and is now in the jungle. Dragomir is behind her, and a shrunken tiny version of Fel also clings behind. We get this shot top down as Meep is zipping through the trees, avoiding like branches and vines. And then the camera like pans backward, and we see Illyria, wings outstretched, flying above Meep. And we just pick up on the four of you hurling through the forest, away from this ledge, away from the massive thing that was chasing you. And then after some time, because Illyria, you can fly for a minute.
Yeah, my transformation lasts 1 minute, I believe. Let me double check.
Mm-hmm.
Radiant Soul, flying speed of 30 feet. Your transformation lasts for 1 minute or until you end it as a bonus action. So yeah. So I think that would mean I could get 300 feet maximum.
Okay, yeah. So you make it that far before Illyria has to land. And then Meep brings the broom to a stop. When Meep flies on a broomstick, is she like crouched and like graceful and like moving through the air? Does she have like her feet out wide? Like,
It's that one. Yeah, it's not graceful. I can tell you that much. It's not graceful. It's definitely a little bit. It's a bumpy ride. She's new. She only just attuned to it, right? So like, no, she's also kind of screaming a little bit because she's afraid. I mean, the screaming mushrooms really left an impact on her. So yeah, she's responsible for those. So yeah.
So you skitter to a halt as Illyria like lands down on the ground, and the wings like curl up and then glow and then disappear as Illyria goes back to their regular non celestial form. And how long does enlarge reduce last? Just so we know how long Fel is tiny.
Let me check the spell.
Who's holding me?
I don't know.
I think
you're
you're holding
just,
on
like,
yourself.
I think
holding
so.
on.
Enlarge
Because you're
reduce.
only one size smaller, even though it makes your weight like 1/8.
Yeah.
Oh,
Up to with concentration up to a minute. So a minute.
About the
Okay,
same time.
so right around the same time as you're skidding to a halt and Illyria is landing, we see Fel go from smaller to like growing back into his.
Illyria, that
that
was
was pretty fun. Oh God. I was gonna say that was cool.
Did I just watch you go through puberty again?
Apparently, that time was less horrible than the first one, at least.
Oh, okay.
Did we all make it? Is everybody
Yeah,
I
safe?
think
I'm
so.
here. I'm
Did we
good.
hear it?
Yeah, so you stop for a moment and you listen. You could still hear the shrieking mushrooms in the distance. And then you hear one less shrieking mushroom, and then you hear one less shrieking mushroom, and then you hear one less shrieking mushroom.
Eagle eyes.
Do you think they just got tired of streaking?
No, I think that it ate them.
Yeah, I think they're dinner.
So you are roughly 300 feet into a jungle.
Mhm.
So you are trying to see through. How does eagle eyes work? Can you see through trees?
You gain the eyesight of an eagle. You can see up to a mile away with no difficulty, able to discern every fine detail as though looking at something no more than 100 feet away. Additionally, dim
Okay.
light doesn't impose disadvantage on your wisdom perception checks.
But you can't see through things. It's not X-ray vision.
You're
No.
like looking through the eye of a needle. Like,
So not only is this our first time seeing Fel do this because this is the new level 6 ability, but this is Fel's first time doing it. Like, does it come naturally where he what happens that makes him realize that he can now do this?
I would like to just imagine weirdly he blinks one time and like it just kicks in and it's just like ah! Ah! And just screams, just terrified.
So yeah, now like all around you, you can like you look at a tree and you see like all of the little ants like marching along the tree. You look to a different one and you see like a squirrel like building a nest. Like you see all of these little details, and it is a lot more mental information than you normally have. Unfortunately, because you can't you're in a dense jungle, so even though you can see a mile away, there's trees in the way, so you can't exactly see back to the cliff where you just were unless you climb a tree or something.
Dear God, that's a bird. There's an ant. Dragomir, you have a stain on your shirt. Illyria, that looks like a little bit of like, whoa, God, your roots. Oh man. Oh.
Are you okay?
what do you mean, my roots?
are you doing okay there, bud?
Yeah. Oh God. I'm just gonna close my eyes for a few seconds. We're fine. That fall must have hit like jostled something. Okay, I think it's okay.
Okay.
Wait, nope, it's not. Oh God, that's a lot of stuff. Just continue on.
Do we know roughly how far the wizard and stuff is from where we just careened to? And like what time of day it is and stuff?
Yeah, so when we left off, it was starting to just be this. It was like just the start of evening. The sun's just starting to go down, and you had stopped on the edge of the cliff so that Meep could attune with the broom, so you could fly across, and that took about an hour. You knew you were within like a couple of hours of reaching the wizard. So it could be within the next 20 minutes or it could be in the next hour or two. They didn't exactly say it takes this long
yeah.
by foot to get there.
You think they would have mentioned the chasm?
You think they would have? Somebody
I mean,
probably
I think there
knew
was
that.
a bridge before, right?
I mean,
There
somebody
was like
must
a
have known it was
broken
out,
bridge,
right?
yeah.
Do people not fix in this part of the continent?
I mean, the giant thing that was trying to maybe eat us might have put a little bit of a damper on the repairs. Maybe they sent somebody to repair and they were a snack.
Are we sure that thing
I mean,
isn't
we're
still
kinda-
chasing us? Because I don't feel good about it.
Well, what's the big chasm?
Yeah, but it's big too. What if we were able to get across it? Something else is possibly able to get across it.
Don't think it has.
What if it has a
flying
broom? Yeah, exactly. If Meep could have a broom, it probably can have a broom too.
I don't know if it's intelligent enough to have a broom.
What is it?
Classic Illyria.
What do you mean?
Oh, was that not a? Oh, you were just stating a fact. I thought we were like
Yeah, I just
roasting
thought it
this
was
giant
like an-
creature.
No, I just thought it was like an animal, and so therefore its intelligence wouldn't be smart enough to attune to a magical item.
That makes more sense. Got it.
I wasn't like roasting it.
Yeah, no, I see that now.
Okay.
Hmm.
Also, this is like the wildlands. I assume that's why people don't fix things.
Yeah.
There's like not a. Is there like a real government out here?
Probably
know.
just the town that we were in.
Yeah.
Do we? I mean, like, how's everyone doing? Do we want to make camp? Do we want to head on? Like, I'm not really sure how far it is, and it is getting a little dark.
I think I almost would rather get there even if we startle this old wizard in the middle of the night. Because what if another giant thing comes to try and eat us?
That's true.
Should we just sprint it? Get a good little workout in? Run through the forest? I don't know, y'all. I'm telling you, that fall, I might have hit my head a little bit harder. So, like, I don't think any of my ideas are good right now. I'm
Del,
just
are there-
saying stuff.
Are there any paths or anything, or we're just looking at a dense wooded area?
You are looking at a dense wooded area.
And just a question about my broom: does it go into the bag of holding, or what do we do with it?
You can carry it, or I can
Yeah.
stick it in the bag when you don't want it. Yeah.
Okay, I think I'm just gonna sling it on my back for the time being in case we hit another chasm and screaming mushrooms and creature.
Yeah, like a weapon. I love it. Just a broom on Meep's back.
It's a jetpack.
Perfect. Just like
It's a
whacking
jetpack.
people with
You
a
just
broom.
fly with it on your back.
I just
Ooh.
imagine Meep goes to walk and there's a low-hanging branch that's above her head, but the broom handle is sticking further up, and so the broom handle hits it and she gets clothespinned a little bit.
Falls straight on her face into some leaves. I'm good.
That's amazing. So to the tower.
It's a tower.
Let's go.
Okay. So everybody starts moving along. It's been a long day. It has been hiding from monsters. Meep tried to make a friend and had a bad time. She tried to be vulnerable and the monkey went eh. Everybody's been learning some stuff. It's been a rough few days of constant moving.
Is this where Phil Collins starts playing as we travel?
We can't afford Phil Collins. Just have to imagine. Just have to imagine it. So
Phil
how,
Collins?
as you're moving along, what's the mood with the group?
I think I feel good. Honestly, Meep's just energized and happy to get away from whatever was chasing them, and she's stoked that she has this new broom on her back, and I think she's in a pretty good mood. Maybe a little
Meep,
scared.
branch, duck.
What?
Dunk.
Oh. I thought you were just listing Meep, branch, duck, quack duck. Yeah.
I think Dragomir is sort of paying attention and alert and watching for stuff, but definitely thinking a little in the back of his head, how the are we alive at this exact moment?
Mm-hmm. So you're thinking, how are we alive? We've seen this giant monster twice. This jungle is full of deadly things. We've literally fought undead. Is it like a, wow, we're still alive? Or is it like a, oh my god, we've almost died so many times?
It's more like a sudden realization that Dragomir actually cares about the people that he's with. Normally, he doesn't really make friends or like be invested in other people because he travels so much, and what he's trying to achieve, he's so dead set on figuring it out that really doesn't make connections that he cares about. And as we're like walking and we've escaped this monster twice, it's sort of this feeling of I don't want these people to get hurt, and coming to terms a little bit with the first time in a while that he's cared about someone other than like Keswick.
Yeah. So you're walking along, you're having this kind of like realization, and you think to yourself, I don't want these people to get hurt. As you think that, and you move a little bit forward, you see something through the trees. You see like a stone wall.
Stone wall. We're here. I see a wall. Do you think that this is the tower? Can we like look up, see if it goes up?
Yeah, so like it's not super far ahead. So as you like move a little bit closer and you're like, is that a stone wall? You realize that there's a small stone building that like has like a very heavy door. And it looks it looks well defended. Like just outside there's like those like wooden things that are like pointy that like keep people away from things. I don't know what they're called. And like the windows are like very narrow. It looks well defended, but it's not a tower.
Oh, but it's not a tower.
Can I cast detect magic on the
Yep.
wall? Okay.
Absolutely, you can. We've seen Meep cast this before?
If
Nope.
we did, it was a long time ago. I don't think we
Mhm.
have.
No.
You've seen Illyria cast it. I
Yeah.
don't know if Meep's
Okay.
cast it yet.
So what does it look like when Meep casts the spell? Do you take 10 minutes to do it as a ritual? Wait, you don't have ritual casting.
Mm-mm.
It's
Druids?
detect magic.
So it'd be a first
Yeah.
level spell.
Is it? Oh yeah, it's a first level spell. It looks like purple spirals, purple swirls kind of just coming out of her hands towards the
Mhm.
wall.
So we see it first from Meep's perspective and then from somebody else's perspective. We see like Meep like put out her hand and this like purple sparkles thing go on, and then Meep blinks and her eyes glow green, and there is like a filter on the world. When we saw this with Illyria, the colors were very like warm. There was like some green magics. I think when we see it from Meeps, it's a lot more pastel colored. And we see like a warm glowing like light like buttery yellow color coming from Illyria. We see a very like soft light green color like flowing through Fel. A similar magic is also flows through Meep. And Dragomir, you don't have spell casting, do you?
A little bit.
You do?
Through Dragomir, you see just something you would recognize as just a life force magic, a light, bright blue color flowing through him. Through the jungle and through the earth itself, you see a similar green magic that you and Fel have that seems to be like a nature magic. And you just get this lens on the world that shows you the way magic flows through people differently, the way it moves through everything and everyone. And then we look at this building, which moments ago we saw it is like a gray stone. And through you and through your eyes, you're getting a little bit of transmutation magic, which is turning one thing into another thing, as well as a little bit of illusion magic. And conjuration magic. There's a lot going on here. So you just see a bunch of different colors moving together as you look at this building. And then we see, again, from the audience's perspective, as we look, Meep's eyes are still glowing this bright green color. We saw her cast these purple sparkles, but for everybody else, everything stays like the same regular color palette.
So they see it too. They can tell whether or not there's magic.
They know you've casted magic. They don't see what you see.
Okay. I don't sense anything out of the ordinary magic wise, y'all, just so you know.
Okay.
So there's no magic here, or
I don't not outside of our magic from what I can tell. It's just a stone wall.
Okay. Do we want to go see if they're friendly?
I'm always down to go meet new people.
Should I go knock?
Probably best.
Yeah, let's go
Knocking
knock.
on stone.
Let's go. Like, can we follow the pointy sticks to see if there's a front entrance, or if it's like, or at least like get a feel of how far around we would have to go to find wherever the front is.
As you make the decision to go inside, a door swings open.
So much for knocking.
So
I thought you said there was no magic here.
Maybe someone was behind it and they hid after they swung it open. I do that.
It's
I
true.
also have magic. So.
You see Dragomir just kind of shrug his shoulders and go, "Listen, I'm tired. It's been a couple of days. Let's just go."
Okay.
And just start
follow
heading
behind
towards
him.
the door.
Yeah, so as you go inside Dragomir, there's a hearth with a fire. There's a big comfy looking chair with a blanket on it. There is like warm snacks on the table. It's very inviting.
That is
Hey,
the opposite of the vibes of outside.
what?
Dragomir, what do you see? I'm outside, so I didn't go in.
Phil, there's
That.
snacks.
I'm like peeking from the hearth of the like,
Feels like the kind of place a wizard would have, to be honest. They said he was strong and
Wizard!
could defend it on the outside. And there's some snacks in here and a nice couch for you to sit on. It's fell-sized.
Wizard, are you here?
What's on the table, Del?
All sorts of like pastries and cookies and jams and cheeses and nuts.
Definitely sweet
Okay,
rolls.
you all know Meep. Okay, Meep runs to the table
We do know me.
We do.
and buries her face in the whatever sweets are there and just
Is
starts
there-
making a mess. And yeah,
Any snacks that Meep is like, oh, I wish this was here? Or is she just like thrilled with everything that's there?
sweet rolls. They're her favorite.
There is a plate of sweet rolls there.
Oh, she's basically head first into the plate of sweet rolls. Yeah.
Did-
We're all gonna die here,
was it
Illyria.
just there, or did it like appear?
Did it appear?
Oh, okay.
I just like grab a sweet roll as I'm
Meep wouldn't
eating them,
notice.
and I hold it out to Dragomir like, this is so good. Can I have a sweet roll?
Can I roll a perception check to see what the is going on in here?
You are welcome to perceive.
Okay. What is that? 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Okay, yeah, you see a very inviting room with sweets and snacks on the table and a big old couch. What were you wanting to see with that roll? Like, what was Fel trying to see?
The wucky. Like
Lucky of it all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like I don't, this is not just you don't just stumble upon this
Is he
First-
inside or outside?
No, God, no, I haven't stepped
We're
standing
both
on the
inside.
outside.
Yeah, we're
Can-
outside the
can
door.
you see us?
Yeah. I
The
think
door's
so.
open.
Okay,
Door's
I see
open.
Fel and I grab a sweet roll and I like huck it at him.
Again,
it bounces off me. I'm not gonna move.
Come on, it's a sweet
Wait.
roll.
So you
I thought
you throw the sweet roll out the door.
Yeah.
As it passes through the door frame, it disappears.
What?
And there it is. Hope you two like dying because you ate that stuff.
I just keep eating the plate of
I
sweet
have
rolls.
eaten
Like
that
I don't
thing.
give a
Please
shit.
stop
I'm
eating
hanging
that.
out. Yeah, you should.
what? Please stop eating that. I don't think it's actually there.
Meep,
What if
that
it's evil?
Illyria, do you
disappeared.
have a plate of sweet rolls?
No, I'm outside.
All right.
Throw me the
There
plate
you
of
go.
sweet rolls. Here.
Okay. I frisbee toss the plate towards Destiny.
It sails through the air, gravity be damned, and disappears in the doorway right
Oh.
before it goes through the door frame.
I guess the second time I notice it actually disappearing, the first time I didn't, and I kind of just go, and I step away
Yeah.
from the table a little
I
bit.
don't think you had sweet rolls, Meep.
They
Okay.
made it look like there
You
was
feel
sweet rolls.
full.
I could have sworn I ate the sweet rolls.
Wait,
Maybe
what if
not
you
there
step
on
outside
inside.
the
Was
door?
there magic or no magic?
I didn't see any magic. Unless they had some kind
Are
of
you
like,
lying
can't-
to us, or are you misinterpreting what Del said?
I might be
What's
misinterpreting
happening?
what Del said. I'm not
Because if you're
deliberately
lying to us,
lying.
I'll go with it.
Yeah.
I could.
Meep saw conjuration, illusion, and
Okay.
Yeah.
transmutation magic.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
saw all the magic.
You saw
I was
literally
like,
all the magic. Like,
Maybe
I
I'm
can't
lying.
But
You
like
can
what
lie to
Meep
us if you
saw
want.
was a bunch of colors. But yeah, you're welcome to lie and say everything was normal.
I just couldn't tell if you were doing it or if Meep was
I have
doing
a
it.
really bad memory. I'm
I
sorry.
was like,
I just thought that Del said there was no magic, but you know what? I'm trying to make this is a deciding factor for Meep if she decides to lie to the group or not.
What Meep is seeing, like the sweet rolls she ate tasted great, and like you feel like full in your belly. The heat of the fireplace feels very real. Like the chair that Dragomir sat in, like was so comfy. You like sunk into it, but it was like just the right amount of firm. Like the walls feel solid.
Okay. I was pretty confident that this was going to be a good spot. So I didn't want to freak all of you out, but there's a lot of magic here. But I swear to God that it was just like I ate a sweet roll. Like I was so hungry before and now I'm fine.
What happens if you step back outside?
I don't want to disappear like the sweet roll.
I'll head back outside to show people that I don't immediately disintegrate into the doorway.
did
He
you eat
didn't
the
eat
sweet
the
roll?
I
magical
have eaten
sweet
nothing.
rolls.
I was just chilling and
Oh,
sitting on the couch.
wait, no, before you eat
as
something. This is science now. You have to eat something, then you can walk through the door.
Who?
Dragomir.
Dragomir. Okay.
So I'll reach towards the table and grab a big like tankard of Dragomir's favorite ale, which is waiting there apparently, and just like down it as I'm walking through the door. So like mug is up, drinking as I walk through the door.
So as you go to turn your head up, a picture on the wall catches your eye. There is a familiar picture of a woman hanging on the wall.
What you looking at?
Any familiar picture? Just so I know how I'm going to act here.
Yeah, you know who this is.
So Dragomir turns to the picture and drops the tankard onto the ground, and it just clatters. And there's just silence. Just the most deep, like the darkest silence you've ever heard. You have no idea what you're looking at. Followed by just sobbing. Just hard sobbing.
Illyria will rush into the room now to see what's wrong.
And I turn around to everyone and say, I think it's about time we had a little bit of a conversation. I'll come in and sit down. Or at least come close to the door. I don't have the ability to yell right now.
I run out and grab Fel by the wrist and like yank him in through the door.
Fucking
Get in
try
here.
me.
He's crying.
I cry all the time. No one gets me to come into a house.
Yeah, but you're
God
not
damn it,
Dragomir.
Phil,
Get
the
in here.
picture on the wall is my dead wife. Come in and sit down.
Get in here!
Christ,
Christ, get in here! I like sit down and just kind of cross my legs and look down.
You
Yeah,
see-
so when you look at the wall, Dragomir, first you describe the picture that you saw at the wall.
So, picture on the wall is an elf, and the look of her face is, you know, the kind of look that someone has when they're just the kindest person that you know. So you can just see it radiating this kindness. Like, this is the kind of person who, if someone in the town, their father or parent was out doing lost in the woods or out hunting, would deliver bread to make sure they're okay, would look after like misfortunate people. Very, very kind. But also strapped to her back is a bow. And it's clear that she knows how to use the bow, is a very, very adequate hunter, a master hunter, even taught Dragomir how to hunt. Her skin is the color of moonstone, which is like a pale white milky tone, and her eyes are the color of sand, but not just sand, the way sand looks when you shine light through like a thin amount of sand. So you get that like tannish but like beautiful ripple of color when you shine light through it, and that's how this person looks.
So you all see this portrait of this elven woman on the wall, but there are also 3 other portraits on the wall. Meep, who is somebody that Meep loves who's not a part of this group?
Mm. It's a hard one because it's someone she doesn't talk to anymore. Is the issue? Is that okay? Okay, Botley. Yeah, Botley, her friend, her Furbolg friend, who kind of not a good influence, but she really does love him. So
Yeah, and I think this picture of Bali that Meep describes as a furbolg is actually
Purple.
like a purple colored minotaur, but still there's a picture of a purple minotaur on the wall. Whose picture
Amazing.
does Fel see on the wall?
Probably his grandma.
Okay,
Same shaved side head woman with the really long hair that just kind of swoops down, and yeah.
Is she tough looking? Is she soft looking? Is she a little bit of both?
Someone who clearly was battle hardened for majority of their life, but they have now found that they are out of it. So their features have softened slightly, but the plight of war and battles are still just clearly evident on their face and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then Illyria, who is the 4th picture on the wall?
It's my mama.
And does she look like you? Do you...
No, she's got like a really dark. She has like blue eyes also, but she's got like a very dark hair. I would say she's got pretty soft features. She looks very graceful. She's like a singing entertainer with the traveling circus, so it's very much a performer.
Yeah, and then so you all see these photos, and Dragomir just said, like, get in here and sit down. There's a photo of my dead wife on the wall. As everybody sits down, whatever chair would be most comfortable for you appears. Whatever drink is like your comfort drink appears, and you all sit down as Dragomir prepares to tell you a tale. And that's where we're going to take our first break. Welcome back, everybody. We are a very professional D&D group who doesn't make fart noises on our break. We would never do that. I don't know who would do that. We would never do that. We're very professional. I hope everybody had a good break. Welcome back to hour 2 of episode 5 of Into the Darkness. That's as much math as I can do today. So to catch everybody up on what's happening is our adventurers are in a jungle looking for a wizard. While they were stumbling through the jungle looking for this wizard, Dragomir was just like, I want to keep my friends safe. And then they came across a stone defended building. And then they were like, well, we should go inside. And a door swung open. And Meep and Dragomir went in because there was soft-looking chairs and a hearth and snacks on the table. But Illyria and Fel were like, no, absolutely not. And then Meep threw a sweet roll out the door at Fel, but as it passed through the door, it disappeared. And everybody was just like, all right, okay. And Meep was just like, by the way, when I cast Detect Magic, I might have noticed 3 different types of magic, but I didn't want to tell you because I was worried that you'd get nervous. And then Dragomir went to see if he was able to leave the building, but as he looked up, he saw a picture of somebody very special to him on the wall. There was 4 pictures on the wall. There was a picture of Meep's friend Botley, who she has described before as a purple furbolg. Turns out he's a minotaur, but close enough. There is a picture of Fel's grandmother on the wall, who is the reason that he is searching for the Australian redleaf. There was a picture of Illyria's mom on the wall, who Illyria used to travel with the circus troupe with. And then as Fel was saying, no, I'm not going in there, Dragomir said, come in here and sit down. I have to tell you something. And Fel was just like, no, absolutely not. And Dragomir was like, there's a picture of my dead wife on the wall. To which now everybody is now in the building having a sit around the hearth with their favorite drinks in their favorite chairs as Dragomir prepares to tell them a story. So, Dragomir.
So you see Dragomir just sitting back for a moment in a deep sigh and takes just a long pull of his drink in his hand and puts it down and looks at his friend and say, it's been about 30 years since I've told anyone this story. Only ever told Keswick, and I only ever tell people I care about. And so Dragomir is starting in on telling the story, but what we see as like the audience, the camera is like zooming into the fire, and in the fireplace we see a forest, and in the forest it's the elf that Dragomir described from the photo, jumping from tree to tree with her bow and landing on the back of a boar as she pulls out 2 arrows and drives it right through the back of its skull, and it skids to a halt. And Dragomir is looking on with just the biggest smile and asks if that's what's for lunch. And this is how they met. And over the next 5 years, they meet on different hunting trips throughout the continents close to the southern dwarven area and the Isle. I wrote down the Isle's name.
The Idle Isle?
The Idle Isle, yeah. And then we see a little cut to one of the temples in the Idle Isle, and it's there's not priests per se in the Idle Isle. It's more like monks, so they're not like deeply religious as you would think about, but there's still sort of ties, and we see them being married. And again, it's just you see both people, and they're incredibly happy, and we kind of get a little bit of some key moments in life are like montage for the characters. This is the normal stuff you would see about they're having a good time, going hunting, Dragomir like trying to shoot a bow and fumbling it and being taught how to shoot a bow. Narisha, who I haven't said the name yet, Narisha learning about how stonemasonry works just this sort of back and forth companionship. And then we see darkness, and it's night. And there's a flash of lightning crashes down through the back. And Nerisha is up looking out the window. And the next thing that we see are 2 arrows flying through the window and the pane crashing and catching Dragomir in the shoulder and right below the rib cage. And as he's falling to his knees to pass out, in the flash of the lightning, we see splash across the wall. And Dragomir sees a man standing there with bright red glowing eyes, and the only other detail he can make out in the flash of the lightning as he's losing consciousness is a cut in his lip. That's deep but healed. So it's a big chunk gone out of his lip, and his eyes are glowing bright red. And then we see Dragomir wake up in chains. He doesn't know really where he is, and is led down a hallway. His scars are healed, doesn't know how long it's been. And he walks out into what looks like an open sky that he now knows is false light, and he tells the party about the false light of the underground Colosseum. And every day for 100 years, he fights in this Colosseum with his warhammer. Every single day.
So what we see, Pixel, if you want to take a second and reconnect your captions, what we see is this massive coliseum filled with people of all types. We see there are like boxes that there are curtains so that you can't see the patrons with inside. We see shots of money and gold changing hands as people bet on the different patrons. And the shots we see from within the arena, there is straight above it, there is this very bright glowing light that illuminates the entire arena. But then we get a shot that Dragomir wouldn't have seen of people leaving the arena, and with that we see a shot of this massive underground city. We see shots of people in the streets who are selling all sorts of illegal materials. We see information brokers. We see some of like the seediest looking bars, and all of this is underneath with like there's like rock above in this underground city, with the main source of light being from this large glowing light that also signals where the Colosseum is. So no matter where you are in the city, you can always see the light coming from the Colosseum. And then Pixel, if you'd like to continue.
Yeah, so we see Dragomir in this like montage of fighting different people, animals, beasts. And as like time progresses and he's telling the different stories, we see every time that he has to take his armor off in the arena, there's like fresh cuts everywhere. And these days they're all silvery healed scars just all over his chest, and everything that's covered under armor, parts of it are up his hand. 100 years fighting, you take a lot of damage. And the next thing that happens is he wakes up on a beach, and all he's got is his hammer, his necklace, which Dragomir reaches under his coat, and one person alive has seen this. And he pulls off, places it on the table, and this is the cog that Nerisha gave him the day that they were married for him to wear, not as a ring, but just as a piece of jewelry for her. Basically, it was her granting her protection in like a sort of a ritual, my love will protect you type thing. And he's held on to it for his entire life. And as well, there was a bag of money. And we kind of see him head into town, and that's where he meets Keswick, who takes him under his wing and teaches him how to use the loot. And then we come back into the room, and Dragomir looks around and says, I know that was a lot, but I only tell that to people I care about. And you see him reach into his backpack, pulls out a length of rope, and ties it into a circle, just a perfect circle. And it takes a second piece of rope out and ties it on, and you hear him mutter under his breath some stuff in Dwarvish that you only understand, and it's like, by the mountains overreach and the tunnels of the Dwarvish halls, I bound myself to aid you all in your times of need, and places the rope on the table and says, just taking an oath to keep you all safe. Would you like to join me in this oath? To protect each other.
So I think we pause for a moment as Dragomir lays down his fealty and swears to protect this group. So I think when we look at the group, I think we would see some expected hesitation from Fel. But just because he has trust issues. But I'm curious what's Illyria's reaction? Like we get basically we get a perspective shift for a minute. What is Illyria thinking? What is going through her head?
So Illyria's like, oath. Is Dragomir becoming a paladin right now? What are we doing? What's happening?
Yeah, so you're just kind of like, why are we taking an oath?
What? Yeah, why oath specifically? Because like what she knows as a cleric is like she knows like the ceremony ritual, which is typically like marriage oaths and funerals and stuff like that. And so she's kind of like, what exactly are we doing? Did he meet some weird warlock patron while we were sleeping or something?
So Illyria isn't so much. Sorry, I think this is in Illyria's head, right?
Yeah,
like,
this is all inner.
Yeah,
like
so
just mostly confusion because I've just kind of been told by my Deva like, oh, you're supposed to go with Dragomir. So to her, it was like already like a given that.
So it's kind of like when somebody's like, do you want to be friends? And you're like, I thought we already were. Why do we need to sign a blood pact?
Exactly.
Yeah, incredible. So Illyria looks a little confused, but like also concerned for Dragomir.
Yep.
Okay, what is going through what's Fel's inner monologue, and what feelings do we see on his face?
I feel like during the story, Fel would have because I don't think there's any chairs that are comfortable to him in existence. So I think he's just like laying on his back, like not in a like I don't give a shit way, but just like a holy shit. Just laying there. And I definitely think it would be an internal struggle of the typical not trusting, not really giving a shit about other people's problems. But Dragomir has also become, like, this whole group has become more friends and he actually cares about them. So it's a weird struggle of wanting to be there for someone, but also dealing with your own, like, past traumas and not knowing how to fully feel.
Yeah, so for Fel, is there a little bit of like it's one of those things where because Fel's very much like I hate people, but then once you get to know somebody, you start to realize that like everybody has a story, and like there's some of that starting realization that everybody you meet has their own going on, and like some of that realization mixed with again like the trauma and trepidation of trusting and being vulnerable.
And people typically die a lot, and you get to know them more, and it makes it harder to not think about them at that point. So
yeah, and I feel like the threat of death, which always comes with adventuring, which is a very real thing, is more so in the room right now too. Not only because Dragomir just told the story of his partner who he lost, but also because Dragomir is taking this moment to be like, I will fight with my life for the safety of all of you. So there's that reminder as well.
yeah, and Fel has technically, like, potentially another like 290 years left on his life. So it's all just the like, I don't know how much heartbreak one person can go through. in a span of
Mhm.
500 years in their life. So
Yeah, so we definitely see some conflicting feelings with Fel. And then Meep, one of your very good friends, just told you a story and then said, let's all be BFFs forever and take care of each other and fight and die for each other. What is Meep's internal monologue with this? Or does she just like immediately say something?
First of all, Meep feels a lot, right? Meep is big on feeling. She feels for her friends. So she's crying. Like she's fully like she's got welled up with tears at Dragomir's story. Sad that she can't meet Dragomir's wife, like just feeling for Dragomir. And she's never really had to think about the fact that it's a choice to kind of work as a team and as a family and support each other and fight for each other because that's kind of what she's been doing. But she thinks back to her family, back where she came from, and I think she's just feeling a lot of gratitude for the group that she's in, and she's really happy that there's like a formal recognition of that. Yeah, so she's really in her feels right now.
So Meep's having a little found family moment.
Yep.
Okay, do you think Meep would be the first to break the silence? As Dragomir says, sorry, what was the last thing Dragomir said again?
So he basically just muttered in Dwarvish some things that mean a lot to him, like, the mountains ridge and his home and is the things that he cares about, which are few and far between, and just essentially, like you said, lays down this piece of rope attached to just a circle that you watched him form and says, places it on the table and just says, I swear to protect all of you with my life if necessary. Will you join?
Meep speaks up and says, I never really understood why I had to leave. I wanted to see new things. I wanted to meet new people, and I realized it's because I didn't feel at home. I didn't feel like I had a home where I came from. But all of you have made this a home, and you're my family, and I I would legitimately die for all of you. Okay, so yes.
So Dragomir reaches into his bag and pulls out some rope. And what we see being pulled out is a large, intricate knot. And it loops over itself many, many times. And unlike the other rope that's lying on the table, this is kind of silver. It doesn't look like a plant or a creature or remind you of anything specific. But when you look at it, you get this feeling that everything on the inside of this rope knot is so much bigger and so much more powerful than what you see on the outside. And he hands it to Meep and says, attach this to the circle. And tells her like what the rope represents when he hands it to her. It represents Meep is the idea.
No, she attaches it and it's just fully bawling. But like, in like happy, grateful tears, right? And then she looks up at Fel specifically with her tears still in her eyes, like a little puppy dog.
You're giving me the look, aren't you? I'm just with you. Yeah, I'm in.
So once again, Dragomir reaches into his bag, and as this one comes out, it looks like a violet, like the flower of violet. Because the violet is said to represent an internal shyness, but not often shown because it's such a beautiful flower to look at. And unlike the other pieces of rope, this one has smaller pieces draping off of it, kind of like a root system that, much like actual roots in the world, are connected a little bit to everything, even if they don't realize it's connected to everything. And he explains it and hands it to Fel and says, go ahead and attach it to the circle.
Who the hell is this guy? Holy. Illyria?
Are we doing magic? Or is this just like symbolic?
Just symbolic.
Okay, I'm in.
So for the last time, for the last person, Dragomir reaches into his bag and he pulls out a knot, and this one's tied to look like a hand, and it's a fully spread hand. It looks kind of like this, but inside, the way it's knotted, you see 3 figures that look like people. One is representing friendship, Illyria's friendship, and how much it means to Dragomir and the party. The other one is representing Illyria's Deva, and the last one, of course, represents Illyria herself. And the 3 representations are the things that guide Illyria in her life. And he hands her the knot and says, "Go ahead and attach it."
I'll tie it on.
And then he looks around and says, "And with that, I believe we're the oath sworn."
Close out Glaive Blood Pact?
No.
No,
No.
thanks.
No. Did I misread the room yet again?
A little bit.
He puts her hand
I
out.
don't
Let's
want
go!
an infection. I don't want to have to heal you when you get an infection from your dirty weapon.
So everybody can take inspiration. Mark
Okay.
that down on your sheets. So
Point of clarification, just really sorry.
absolutely.
So, okay, we took these things and tied it to a circle?
Yep.
Or
Yeah, I need a little. Yeah.
So
What did I do with the
basically,
knot?
The idea is that Dragomir took out a knot of a circle, and that represents sort of all of us encompassing each other. And he first affixes a knot that's just a plain knot because he hasn't made anything deep and meaningful for himself. And that one represents him and his sort of oath to protect everybody else in this party. At this point, the only person in this party is him. No one else is tied their knot to the thing when that happens. And then as the knots that he's tied for you that represent you get tied to the circle, that's, as you affix them, you're swearing to protect everyone who's now a part of this circle that we've created.
What was Meep's knot again?
It is
So
large.
collectively tying the knot.
Yeah, so the knot itself is a piece of rope that's large and intricate. So each of them has like a piece that you can tie on to the thing. But
Okay.
what is handed to you is already pre-done. Like he's tied these already ahead of time. And Meep's is large
He's
and
been
intricate.
thinking about this for a while.
And it's a lot of ropes that loop over each other. And unlike everyone else's rope, this one is actually silver colored. Everyone else's rope colored.
Okay, cool.
And doesn't look like anything specific. But when you look at it, you just have this feeling that everything on the inside of the knot is so much bigger than the outside of the knot encompasses.
Oh.
And there's what you see like on the outside is a mess of moving lines and lots of stuff going on. But every time you look at it, all you can feel is that the inside is so much bigger than the outside.
I'm crying again. I can't. I can't today, chat.
Amazing. So y'all have moments.
I do have one more thing to show everybody before we go
Yeah.
on if you want.
No, absolutely.
So he looks at his friends and says, "There's one more thing I haven't shown you all yet." He stands up from his chair and grabs his hammer and twirls it around the side on one side and grips it. And if you've been paying attention, you've never seen Dragomir grip his hammer quite that way before. And as he does it, you see a wash of magic fill up the hammer. And the hammer at the top that was once dulled and worn looking looks fresh and ready to go. And the magic that you see, you can see the physical color of the magic just with regular eyes. And the color is the color of sand if you shone light through it, with little flicks of blue coming off of the end of the hammer. And he says, "Normally I would swing this to show it off, but we're going to be a little civilized here in the room." And he doesn't swing the hammer, places it down and picks up his necklace and reattaches it and just holds it for a second and says, "Nurisha, protect me." And he just starts running. And what you see is somebody moving at twice the normal speed available. So he's literally running at 70 feet every like 3 or 4 seconds around the room. And again, the blur behind him that you see as he's showing you this power that he has that he's not shown off is again the color of sand. If you just shine light through it with flicks of blue sort of filling into the space. And he stops and says, "That's something I can do that y'all should know about."
So, just to step out of character for a second, would Pixel like to explain to the audience mechanically what this means?
What the f is happening?
At level 6, a fighter can pick up a feat or a stat boost. The feat that I've picked up for Dragomir is called Magic Initiate, which lets me choose 2 cantrips and 1 level 1 spell that I can cast once per day. The spell that we showed off for the hammer is Booming Blade, which does
God, I love that
a whole
spell.
bunch of damage. And if you hit something, if it moves, it gets hit by thunder. That's a cantrip. You can do that one as much as he wants. We also have Eldritch Blast that I picked up that I didn't show off because we were in a room. We're going to see what that does. And the level 1 spell is a spell called Expeditious Retreat, which means that Dragomir can concentrate for up to 10 minutes, and it allows him to move, allows him to use his dash as a bonus action, which essentially lets him move twice as fast as you would expect because he's dashing, not just walking. Which essentially means that when he's in a fight, he's going to be able to like hit something and then literally zip across the battlefield to another side at ridiculous speeds. And the idea is that you don't survive 100 years without something a little special to help you move a little bit faster and swing a little bit harder than your average dwarf. So that's again the out of character idea where this all came from. In character, Dragomir has possessed these powers the entire time, but hasn't shown them off because he only shows them to people he really cares about and like understands. In actual fact, we just became level 6 and I added them, and that's what's happening. But the idea is that he could do this ever since he left the arena and while he was in the arena, but is only just now showing his friends that he can do it because of all of the scenes you just watched, basically.
Yeah,
So I
that's
think
a
I have
good
a
booming
question just really quick. I know, Dragomir, you shared a lot, and I think the party, we're all wondering the same thing. Does this mean you hit things harder than me now? Because I don't know if I agree to that.
Maybe. You do hit impressively hard, friend.
You see Fel do one of his patented, like, deep breaths that he does anytime he's about to do something that's new or, like, just weird. And he gets up and, like, almost menacingly walk over to Dragomir and then just gives him the biggest hug that a 300-pound, 6 foot or 7'8" furball can.
And of course, Dragomir hugs him back.
Do you lift him up? You're so
Yeah,
tall.
Probably
He's so
would have
short.
to. I'm only 4'9".
Little dangly legs.
When you write that in a story, say we fought and like afterwards we made up.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it was,
yeah. It's
yeah,
a huge
not just
tussle and a handshake.
yeah.
It's a beautiful thing that toxic masculinity is not an issue in this world. So, as everybody just, kind of put their feels out and I had a big old hug and a big old friendship affirming moment. Your attention is once more drawn to the wall with the pictures of your loved ones. And the memory of the sweet world flying out the door and disappearing.
Meep, is that what's his botany?
Botley, first of all. And what?
Botany.
What, Phil? You don't know Botley?
You've mentioned him, but it's not
Yeah.
someone we typically talk about.
I
Because,
know I wanted you to meet, but now not so much.
Well, see,
Did-
my question is, you said he was a furbolg.
Yeah,
Um,
I know.
And Dragomir just walks over to Fel and says, just stand here for a second next to the picture, and walks over to Meep and just says, do these look the same to you?
She looks back and forth between the two photos. Oh, the photo and Fel. They're reminiscent of each other.
A little.
I mean, I guess you're not wrong, but
Okay. Listen, Botley lives in a family of furbolgs. They took him in. All right. We don't really talk about the fact that he's not like fully furbolg.
And
I think Botley probably knows that he's adopted.
did all the rest of the furbolgs look like Botley?
there's that
No.
emotional 17-year-old damage. There we go.
No. I
Got
don't
the
know.
paperwork
Listen,
right
okay.
here.
It's a really sensitive topic for him, okay? And he's not here right now, no, but I generally try not to point it out too much for him. He gets angry. But fine, they're different. Fine.
What happens if I take one of the photos off the wall
You can hold it in your hand.
and it just stays the same?
Hmm?
Is the door closed or open?
Did you close it?
I, don't
I
think we
feel like I
closed it.
would not have closed it.
Then it's open.
Throw
Throw
Botley's photo through the door.
Botley!
What the heck?
I'm just
Why
seeing
Botley?
something. Hold on, I'm seeing something.
He's a dick, but like you don't need to smash his photo.
Yeah, so the photo as it flies out the door disappears, but then when you look back to the wall, it's back up on the wall.
Got it. See,
So what?
science.
So like this is the
Fine.
wizard's tower, probably, right? Like just
Did we see a
I-
tower?
with some illusion magic.
Certainly hope so. I certainly hope so.
Wizard.
I appreciate them giving us beanbag chairs at least.
The hell is a beanbag chair?
You don't know what a beanbag chair is? It's my
Is that
favorite
an
chair,
elf
Fel.
thing?
That's my favorite chair.
Are there actual beans in it?
Yeah,
Like the
Wait,
beans I have in the bag?
are they going to make more
Are they
streaming
magic?
mushrooms?
I do. Yeah, I do worry. Don't plant them because last time things happened that weren't good. But yeah, beanbag chair,
Okay.
super comfy. You just like sink into it, and I guess they knew that was my favorite chair.
Yeah, are we going to talk about how all of our favorite things are here? That's weird, right?
It's a little
Well,
sus.
Yeah, it's certainly. I mean, it's got to be the wizard's tower, right?
Are there like stairs somewhere?
Would you like there to be?
Sure.
There are
I'll
stairs.
think in my head. I'll think. I wonder if there's stairs to find this wizard.
Yeah, there are stairs.
Okay.
If I imagine things, they show up. Is what's happening.
If
Oh,
you
fuck.
want something,
I want Botley to be here.
Botley does not show up.
Oh God. Okay.
Oh, I guess it's not unlimited, everyone. Just so you know. Sweet rolls, yes. Botley, no.
Oh, you tried to summon Botley?
Yeah, summon him. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I think over you.
Interesting.
Do we want
I'll try going up the stairs, and I'm
I'll
going to see
go
where
with
they go.
Lyra.
Uh-oh.
Is that a good idea?
I'm going to
I'm
find the
not-
wizard.
But we're not even aware that this is the wizard tower. Wouldn't they have
Meep.
said, "Oh, he has illusion magic"? This seems kind of like going down a maze that we shouldn't go because we're gonna get trapped.
For once,
Well-
I agree with him. I don't feel good about this one.
Illyria,
You
there
You
are
were the
four.
one that ate the sweet rolls.
They were great.
They couldn't
Stairs-
fix the bridge. I don't think they're going to know how the tower works.
There are 4 doors upstairs.
Oh no.
I will roll a d4. I picked the farthest left.
Okay, you open it up, and what would Illyria's perfect bedroom look like?
So, like, imagine a teenager's bedroom. with like boy band posters on the wall.
Like the coolest adventurers.
Yeah,
There's like
yes,
there's
all the coolest mercenary groups
there
all over the
is a
walls.
photo of they're called Seven, and they are like the biggest like adventurers in the world. Like they're mysterious and they're cool and they're powerful, and nobody really knows how to contact them. But like everybody has a story of like, oh, I know somebody whose brother's aunts like got saved by one of the Seven. They are like the most famous adventuring party in the world and very like mysterious. So there's like a poster of the Seven on the wall.
Yeah. So, and she's got like a canopy bed, just like stuff she wouldn't have had because she was just grew up traveling. So it would just be very much like big pieces of furniture that she wouldn't have been able to take with her. Like a nice vanity that's like permanent, like built in, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's what you find behind the door.
Hey, there's a room and it looks like the perfect room.
Again, is this not weird?
I don't know. It's got a bed in here though, so I'm gonna lay down.
I want to go lay in a bed. Fel, I might go lay in the bed. Is there room for me?
I mean, yeah, it's a huge bed, but there's probably a room for you too. There's 4 doors up here.
I want to go into a room. Meep is convinced. Should I roll?
You do whatever you want.
What do I do?
However you want to pick a door, pick a door.
The first door. I eeny meenied it.
Yeah, you open up the door, and behind the door is your Meep's perfect bedroom. So what does Meep see?
She walks in, and there's a really it's a single bed. It's a single little Meep sized bed. It's short, and there's a sleeping fluffy long furred brown cat. It's not her cat, but it's there. And there are vines and kind of acting as like a canopy around the bed, and there's like a little object, kind of like a record in the corner playing some music, like this twinkly sounding music. And she has a little fountain in the other corner too that's trickling and making sounds, and it smells like vanilla. I don't know why, but her room smells like vanilla, and it's a perfect vibe for Meep. So she runs in and like hops directly onto the bed and pulls out like a little stick fidget thing she has and just sits there and pulls blankets up over her with her hood. Yeah. Fel, go to your room. It's great.
Fel's just sticking his hand in and out of the door, seeing if he can actually, like, if he can just leave whenever he wants to.
Okay.
There's no problem. Like, literally, I can just hop out and back in.
So suspicious.
What if I go to the outside and knock on the wall? What is it? It's just a wall?
It's just a stone wall. There's a second story now.
We're on the second story, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay.
Dragomir, in a showing of faith, whatever the word is, I'm just so angry right now I can't talk. Are we just assuming this is safe?
I mean, you can leave and we can come back. And it is protected on the outside. And the door didn't appear until we thought we wanted it to come in. So I think it's probably fine. I think this is where a wizard would live.
Sounds nice, honestly. My room is really cozy.
Are you like worried there's gonna be like a fiend here or something?
This just seems very weird that everything is what we want it to be and rooms are appearing and we're just really accepting this.
Let us have something nice for once, though, Fel.
But it's just the fact that it just randomly appeared.
Can I do find traps? I think it's called find traps. Okay, because I'm also suspicious, but also in denial. So because she just wants to be enjoying something instead of streaking mushrooms and flying across a chasm. She just wants to be enjoying her life. Let me see. Find traps, which is a level 2 spell. Okay.
So, it takes an action to cast. You say a word and do a hand movement, and then you can sense the presence of any trap within range that is within line of sight. A trap for the purpose of this spell includes anything that would inflict a sudden or unexpected effect you consider harmful or undesirable, which was specifically intended as such by its creator. Thus, the spell would sense an area affected by the alarm spell, a glyph of warding, a mechanical pit trap, but it would not reveal a natural weakness in the floor, an unstable ceiling, or a hidden sinkhole. This spell merely reveals that a trap is present. You don't learn the location of each trap, but you do learn the general nature of the danger. You don't sense any like glyph of warding, mechanical pitch. There's no alarm spell. There's no hidden spikes or poison darts or anything that would cause damage like that to you.
Phil, I even checked for traps and I'm not getting anything. I'm picking up on nothing. So it is a little bit suspect that all of this is just happening and it's great, but we've done a lot of good work. Like we killed some monsters, we helped people. Maybe this is our reward. Wizard could be a
Okay,
cool guy.
but I just want all of you to know, if this turns out to be a trap and we die, I'm going to find a way to bring you all back and then murder you again and then haunt you.
Why are you the way that you are?
200 years of experience.
That's
I'm
okay.
210.
You're oath sworn to us now, so you have to stay with us even if you're a ghost.
That's right.
Don't you use that
lyrics.
against me. We've only been doing this for 5 minutes and this is starting already.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I'm
we're a
gonna
real family.
cast detect evil and good. Here, I'm looking for evil things right now.
I don't know if I like your patronizing tone, but thank you.
So, for the purpose of this spell, what kind of evil things are you able to sense?
I can sense, I believe, aberrations, fiends. Hold on. Where is it? Detect evil and good. Aberration, celestial, elementals, fays, fiends, or undead. Within 30 feet of me.
You sense an undead.
Something
Great.
undead is here.
Ooh, how is that not considered a trap?
Where do I see them?
They're kind of like moving around. But they're just like nearest like whoever closest who last wanted something. So if the last thing that was created was Meep's room, they would be near Meep.
And do I what's like, is there anything to let me on to that? Like, does the temperature change or do I hear anything or see anything?
You can make a perception check if you'd like.
Okay. Perception check. Beep boop. Perception. That's proficiency. Skills. Okay. 25.
So
good.
yeah, you can feel a cold area that you can assume.
She pulls the blankets up a little bit more tighter around her face and she kind of yells out, it just got really cold in my room. Illyria?
Yeah, there's a ghost in there, I think.
Ha, cool. Can I come to your room?
Yeah, if you want to.
She just hops the fuck out of the bed and beelines it for Illyria's room and just jumps up right next to her and like cowers.
I mean, we've met some like friendly undead, right? Like
This one doesn't feel friendly to me.
I'll call out to it and be like, "Are you gonna kill us? I can see you."
She sees you.
A paper appears on the table and it just says, "No, I'm not going to hurt you."
This is good.
Do you work for the wizard?
The paper, like more words appear and it says, "No, I'm his brother."
Where is the wizard? Are we not there yet?
His tower is just a little further up the hill.
Is this our house now?
You can stay here as long as you would like.
Do you protect travelers?
No,
Why
Okay.
us?
I was hanging out and you appeared and you needed a safe space.
Okay. Good enough for me.
Are we free to leave whenever we want?
Yeah.
It's the wizard's ghost brother, and he's just here while we're here.
Does he have a name?
Yeah, what's your name?
Ghosty McWater
Mm.
bottle.
He has a name. Find where I wrote it down. Where did it go? Oh, no, that's Frozhug. That's not the right person. Arwell.
Illyria, can you ask it why it wants to help us?
Sure. Why do you want to help us?
I got nothing better to do.
Oh, that's really nice. Thanks for giving me hot chocolate and Meep sweet rolls.
You're welcome.
Sorry we were so freaked out. How did you know who our like most loved person is?
It's who you
Or did
wanted
that
to
come
see.
from us?
Did it say anything?
Yeah, it was just kind of bored. Or
Uh,
he was just kind of bored.
Can you ask him if it's dangerous here? Like, because I mean, they sound pretty chill. I just
Is it dangerous here? I asked him if he was gonna kill us, and he said no.
but there could be other ghost brothers.
Are there more ghosts around here?
Not around here, no.
Okay.
Okay. How long have you been a ghost?
About a month.
Hmm. Okay. Are you a wizard too, or were you?
I was.
Should we ask how he became a ghost?
I assume it was one of the monsters, but sure. How'd you become a ghost?
Maybe the wizard though.
I died.
Okay,
Yeah, but
got it.
how? What happened to you? Were you did you have to fight a monster, or like did somebody attack you, or?
They just write down it was an accident.
Is that the reason that nobody else can fully die around here?
There's like a pause for a minute, and then he just writes, Gavin will explain.
Okay. Is it starting to get dark?
Oh yeah, it's dark.
Okay. Okay. Well, I think we'll stay here for the night, and then we're gonna go visit Gavin in the morning.
There's like no response.
Thanks so much for being such a wonderful host. Congrats on getting to learn about all our secrets. Don't tell them to anyone else, please.
They just write down who would I tell?
The next group of travelers you decide to help. I don't know. Anybody have anything else they want to ask Arwell?
Kinda. Is it safe to eat the food?
Yes.
He just said it's not going to kill us.
Fel, you can eat the sweet rolls.
I just walk up behind Dragomir. You want me to kill everybody in here? Okay. I'm just playing. I'm trying to handle these emotions. This is really freaking me out. They're upstairs talking to a ghost. We're eating ghost food. This is a ghost house.
Apparently,
a lot of
Gavin will tell
ghosts.
us why there's ghosts, but he knows.
Yeah.
I'm assuming Gavin is the wizard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Gavin
Okay.
is the wizard.
Okay.
You sleeping?
Yeah.
Meep is trying to decide whether or not to go back to her room or not. She doesn't feel
You
good.
can stay
being
here
alone.
if you want.
Well, the
But,
ghost is like the cold spot is where Gavin is writing on the paper.
So it's already in our room.
Yeah.
New cold spot.
What is Is there anywhere downstairs that you can sleep? Like what does downstairs look in terms of places that a Meep-sized person could curl up and sleep?
Anywhere Meep wants to go, a space, a nook with everything she would want to feel comfy is there.
Perfect. She goes downstairs and she sees a little like a little nook with a little seat, and there's a little plate of sweet rolls, and she's just gonna be in denial, and there's blankets, and she just kind of curls up and has a few more sweet rolls, and that's her spot. I'm gonna stay right here. Fel, I don't know if you want to sleep down here, if you want to go to your room and see what's behind the door, but I'm here. I'm not going back up there.
I'm sleeping up here. Good night.
Dragomir, what's in your room?
I haven't opened it yet.
His dead wife.
Oh my god.
Dragomir just sort of elbows fell like a pretty good jab, like one of those that's not cool jabs. And just sort of looks at him and says, "Well, you try your door."
Maybe.
So Dragomir walks over to the door closest to the stairs and just puts his hand on the door for a second and sighs and thinks. Swings open the door and walks in, and it's not a room.
So,
Oh,
before you describe too, if Dragomir is feeling tired or like he knows what his perfect room is, but he's not like emotionally ready for it, then that's not what would appear. It wouldn't necessarily be your perfect room. It would be what you want most as you open the door. Sorry,
Have-
go ahead.
I have good news. So swings open the door and walks in, and what you see is a little bit further off a large tree shooting up into the sky, and on the ground next to it is a ring of mushrooms. And there's 4 bedrolls. 2 of them are made out of grass, fully packed. And there's a fire in the middle where it looks like something has been recently cooked, and a tent that's set up. And the 2 bedrolls are a little over closer to the tent, between the fire and the tent. He just walks over to one of the grass bedrolls and lies down, kicks his hand behind his head, and just sighs.
And I think we just like the camera lingers on that shot for a minute before hard cutting back to Fel, who's I think still downstairs, being like, mm-hmm.
I feel like Fel would want to just stay downstairs, but he would end up walking up and like sitting cross-legged in front of the door, just staring at it, trying to figure out if he really wants to open it or not. And that would probably be like 10 or so minutes of literally just him staring at the door and then just finally opening it.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
And what would Fel find the most relaxing in that moment?
In that moment, it would probably be like a dark forest with fireflies kind of flying around with the sound of crickets. And there's the normal grass on the floor, but all of the flowers are just the blue moonlets that he drew earlier, and just the most woods and wood noise you can think of to just try to help him teleport just out of this to him, which is terrifying. Like he's traveled the world and I don't know if he's ever experienced something like this. So it's just the only thing to remind him of just what he knows. Yeah. And I guess walks in and lays down and just kind of at the ready for something to attack him because he just can't truly relax.
And is that like the state of Fel for most of the night? Is just like can't quite sleep, can't quite power off?
Yeah, it would probably be kind of a restless sleep of just not being able to fully accept that he is safe because that hasn't been most of his life. And he kind of gave his word to protect people that he's only known for a little bit, but they've ended up meaning so much to him in such a little amount of time, and still not knowing how to handle those emotions of caring about people and even being a little bit like talking to himself saying, well, I guess if Dragomir stepped on a flower, I guess it's only one flower. Anyone else out of the group who would do that, I would probably murder. But I mean, one flower is one flower. I can't go murdering friends. Also, that would just make Meep sad. And it would make me sad too. Oh, friendship is work. And this is why I never did it. And just all night decompressing with his thoughts like that.
Yeah, and I think we get like a montage of like different shots of people like in spaces that are made for them, made to be cozy. Meep is in a nook. Illyria is surrounded by a beautiful canopy. Dragomir is in a roll in a forest with mushrooms nearby, and Fel is illuminated by the light of the fireflies. But each of them have like some kind of like conflict of feelings of like these I care about these people and I like these people, but oh, I care about these people and I like these people. Um and so everybody's in this house together, but kind of like within their own fields and their own heads this evening. Um and that's where we're going to take our second break. Welcome back, everybody. I hope you had an excellent break. I hope you took a minute to stretch. And if you're me, wipe away your tears and fix your makeup. Thank you all again so much for being here. We really appreciate you hanging out and listening to us as we do some storytelling. So thank you for being a part of all of this. So, the story so far, our adventurers are looking for a wizard who lives in a tower in the jungle to help provide some answers about the recent undead problem that started about a month ago. So they've journeyed out into the jungle to find this wizard. Along the way, they came across a house, and after some investigating and bonding, they have found that there is a ghost here named Arwell who died about a month ago, and is also a wizard. And in this house, anything that they want or talked about wanting appeared. So yeah, there was some emotional damage. They bonded as a team. They talked about people that they've loved in the past. They cemented their friendship. And then everybody sort of went to bed in their own corners of the house and had brief moments of reflection on um, the story so far. So when we come back, unless anybody has any moments or thoughts um, throughout the night, or if anybody wanted to do anything throughout the night, if not, we will go to morning to whoever wakes up first.
I just want to confirm because I'm new. This counts as a long rest, right? So we get all our
Yes,
stuff back.
this is a long rest. Yeah, absolutely.
Actually, before all of that happens, is there I'm trying to see if this will make any sense or if it'll work. Would Fel know if Meep would actually want to be in her room instead of downstairs? Like, would
That
he know her long enough to like kind of be able to help read just emotions and whatnot?
Yeah, so that's a question for Meep. Does Meep now that you're in your nook instead of in like the bedroom that was magicked up for you, does Meep seem happy and content in her nook, or would Fel be able to read that she doesn't actually want to be there and she wishes she could be in her room, or she wishes she could be somewhere else?
Yeah, the latter. She initially made her decision to go back downstairs because she didn't trust it after there was a ghost in the room with her. But now she's kind of like, well, they're all up there and they all seem pretty happy, and there is a water fountain. There's some kind of a waterfall in my room. Yeah. So the second.
So would Meep have stayed then downstairs by herself? I'm figuring out if Fel is going to write a little note saying I took care of the ghost, to put it somewhere in her room, and in the middle of the night go down, grab her, and actually take her up to her room so she can actually spend a night in the room of her dreams.
Oh, she'd love that.
And yeah, Meep wouldn't be sleeping because as an
No
elf,
sleep
Meep
pod.
trances.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't be able to do it without her knowing, unless Candace would just like that to happen.
Yeah. That's cool.
Okay, so that would change it up a little bit. I feel like then, since Fel probably in and out of sleep, not able to just fully pass out during the middle of the night, would go over to Meep's room and try to like maybe pull out his glaive and out loud make like fighting noises that aren't horribly loud, but maybe hopefully loud enough for Meep to hear, and like fully
hears
just
them.
like, take that, ghost, and that, and you're gonna stay out of this room unless you want to fight me, and causing a little bit of a scene so Meep can hear to maybe investigate.
Del, your lips are moving, but sounds aren't happening.
There was a loud truck, and I forgot that I muted. Thank you.
Gotcha.
So Illyria and Dragomir, you absolutely hear the sound of Fel pretending to fight a ghost. You know very obviously what's happening, but I just needed all of us to know that the two of you hear what's going on and understand what Fel is doing. So Meep, you hear the sound of Fel fighting a ghost.
Okay. I'm intently listening. I'm in my hood, in my blankets, sitting in the nook, still up, and I'm just like listening in really carefully. And I hear a clonk, and I hear a "Ha! Take that!" And then I kind of peer out around the corner up the stairs a little bit, and then I hop out of my nook, and I kind of like hobble up the stairs very cautiously, and I peek up and I see Fel towering at the top of the stairs. Hi.
So Fel, do a
It was-
performance check just out of curiosity.
As I hear him doing this, I will use thaumaturgy to make like ghost sounds that are like, "Oh no!"
So you
stuff
can
like
have
that.
you can have advantage, Fel, on your performance check
Advantage on performance, and then inspiration is a D4.
if you'd like to. Absolutely.
Hell yeah, I'm gonna add inspiration to this because I got 2 of them. Okay. Oh, f me. Oh, where's that D4? How do you feel about a 12?
Let me take a look at Meep's sheet for a second.
Oh, hold on, that might be less. Oh, yep, that's how do you feel? 7, 8, about a 9.
So Meep's passive insight is 16. So Meep, even with all of that, you see this and you can tell that Fel is pretending to fight a ghost to make you feel better. You just know that.
Oh, Meep. Oh, the fight. And
She goes
spit.
with it. She goes with it. She lets him continue this, and she, even though she knows, she pretends she doesn't to not bruise his ego potentially. Oh my god, that sounded like a lot happened. You okay?
It was a
You
lot.
need healing wounds? Like, I can help
No.
cure wounds, healing
I
spirit.
just need a good night's sleep. I'll be able to just. Oh, it was a huge battle, but your room is safe now.
Peers around him, knowing it's fine, and well, knowing that there's still probably a ghost hanging out somewhere up here, actually. And she gives Fel a big hug as much as she can. Again, she can barely wrap her arms around his knees or wherever she's at. Thanks, Fel. Thank you. That was a stinky ghost.
It was so much. It's fine.
You need to sit down?
I need to go rest now. That took a lot out of me.
Take care of yourself. I don't know what I would do without you. I feel like I can go hang out in my room now. Thank you. What would I do without my big, strong, muscular, tough fur bulk friend?
You're laying it on a little thick.
I just look and scurry into the room and shut the door.
That's why Mom said you're never going to be an actor. It's okay.
I don't want to be an actor.
Everybody's like, we'll pretend we didn't part. As the emotional damage continues.
Is Dragomir's door open or closed?
It could be open. I didn't close it. I just kind of walked in and jumped in my indoor-outdoor bed thing.
I feel like Fel would cross the door frame and do that like almost cartoony, like just like look back and see Dragomir in this really nice space. And knowing that he's not sleeping in his room anyways, would actually go and join the little camp area. And actually probably sleep there because it's a little bit more of what he's used to.
It's our campsite from the first episode, in case anybody missed it.
Yep.
Are there stars?
Yeah,
There were stars in the first episode, right?
It's exactly where we camped in the first episode. So there's the big. That's where the big tree is, and the circle of mushrooms, because
right,
that's what he needs most right now.
Oh.
So for anybody who might need a little refresher, this world doesn't have stars. There are no constellations in the sky. But when our adventurers visited a little pocket of the Feywilds, there is a night sky full of these things that our party had only ever read about in books or heard about in stories. But in this little room, that Dragomir that has been conjured from the wants and desires of Dragomir, is a sky full of stars.
And so I would see Fel coming through the door frame and just point to the grass bedroll beside me. Just say, "There's extras if you want one."
Sure, why not?
That's all I got. I just kind of kicked back to where I was before I heard the ghost fight. And
Yeah, and so like Illyria was listening to and helping Fel with his ghost fighting sounds, as well as Meep is very much still awake because she just went into her room. So both of you like hear Fel go into Dragomir's room and ask to pull up a bed.
Meep doesn't want to be alone. Meep loves her room. It's really cozy in there. It's got like basically mossy shag carpets. Like it's a beautiful, comfy place. But it sounds like they're having fun, and Meep is all about fun. I don't think they're sleeping yet, right? No,
it's been like 30 seconds since.
Perfect. So she kicks her feet off the edge of the bed and hops down because she's 4 feet tall, and she kind of just hobbles over to the door, opens the door, and then puts her little fingers on the door frame of Dragomir's door and just like peeks in a little, and just kind of gently says, "What are you both doing in here?"
this is where we're sleeping for the night. There's extra bedrolls.
You have a bedroll for Meep?
Absolutely. And I just kind of point to like, because there were two sitting together a little bit further away that were actual bedrolls, not the grass bedrolls. And I just kind of point to those, and I think that one is just your size.
Oh, sweet. She runs in and grabs it, puts it down over next to the two of them, and just kind of like sets up to hang out by the fire.
Illyria hears this all going on, and in typical teenager fashion, like rolls her eyes and is like, "Nerds," but then gets out of bed and is like, "Ugh." She's gonna bring the blanket from the other room with her and like wander on over and be like, "Here we are again. Okay, good night." And then gets in the bedroll and passes out.
And it's the comfiest bedroll you've ever slept in. It feels just like the bed in the other room, Illyria. You didn't have to sacrifice comfort to spend an evening with your friends. So you wake up in the morning in this room that looks like a pocket of the Feywilds, in a house conjured by a dead wizard.
Death saving throws.
Who wakes up first?
I
Meep
like
is
to
still
imagine we all
tranting.
kind of just like wake up at the same time. Just
Okay.
like
I like
refreshed,
it.
like
Yeah.
all right, because we just, did our oath or whatever. So
Mhm.
we're all like bonded now.
So there's you're all adventurers, so you're used to waking up every day in a new place. But there's still like a moment and you like blink awake and you look around and you're like, we're back in the Feywilds, and then you look and there's like a door in the wall of the forest that goes back out to the hallway of the ghost house that you're in. And then I'm assuming like Fel makes coffee. And then does Illyria do her morning preparing of spells?
Yeah, she goes back to the room where she like thinks, oh, I really need an altar or something, like to do my preparations. And so the little ghost wizard does his thing, and yeah, she prepares some spells. I think I have a new slot now. Oh yeah, because we leveled up, so I have an extra prepared spell.
Hell yeah.
Can I conjure a sweet roll into my hand?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to conjure a sweet roll and just say, meat breakfast, and throw it at her.
I could never ever get tired of these things. Thank you. Oh my god. She just kind of like shoves it into her little mouth.
How did you learn about sweet rolls?
One time,
They're great, aren't they?
they're so good. I saw them at a stall once. We were in one of those encampments that we went to. They were at a stall and someone just gave one to me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did you borrow a sweet roll?
Do I believe you?
That's up to you to decide. I was
my-
eyeing them and they looked at me and they saw that I was cute and they said, "You want a sweet roll?" And I went, "What's a sweet roll?" And they handed it to me and I had it.
Oh my god. Yep, I've
If
traveled
Meep
here long enough to
wants,
know this is bull.
she can try to roll a deception check.
Okay, I'm going to. Let's see what happens. Oh no, deception. Okay.
Don't forget to clear. I think you still have your old roll on there.
Thank you. Yeah, I do. Okay. I have 3.
My passive insight is 14. So
Yeah.
I have a +4.
And I just kind of
So I know you're lying. I'll be like, who did you take a sweet roll from?
You ever
Wait,
seen it?
was it that Tabaxi that was screaming about somebody stealing their sweet roll?
She fully just her demeanor changes, just shifts to like I don't know what you're talking about, but I do know
That's
Tabaxis make wonderful sweet rolls.
Oh.
Do you know that the Tabaxi made it?
No.
Does the Tabaxi work in the kitchen?
I don't know how that would work like food safety wise, but I don't know. Listen, all I know, fine, it. I saw a sweet roll at the foot of the bed of a Tabaxi. And it just
You
it was
know-
glistening. It was beautiful. And you know what? I took it. I'll do it again too. I took it.
I
I'd do
can't
it again.
blame you. I can't blame you.
do it again.
Sweet rolls are
I'd do it
great.
again.
Do it again.
Illyria, I know you might be disappointed in me, but I wouldn't have
Nah,
known about these wonderful things if it
it's
weren't for that
okay.
decision.
Can Fel like I don't, because it's just as funny and D&D because I want to. Can he like open his mouth wide like a turkey looking in the rain and conjure a sweet roll to just fall into his mouth?
If Fel would like that, that could happen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's funny.
Hey, buddy.
Huh?
You know that the ghost is doing that, right? So like when you imagine that you want that, the ghost is like conjuring it and throwing it in your mouth.
Uh-huh.
Okay, just making sure. Just making sure you know
Let
that
him enjoy
somebody
it,
else is
Illyria.
also touching it.
Okay.
Sort of.
Everything. Right here, hunt.
It's a very romantic moment, so I'm just saying.
Oh,
Okay, yeah, those are pretty good.
see, I told you.
It goes
Worth
nicely
it.
with coffee too.
I risked my biscuit. It was worth it.
Y'all should try that. It's actually pretty fun. You don't get your hands sticky.
That's half the fun.
I like the sticky hands.
Yeah.
Because then you get to like get the icing off of your hands.
It might be different when you have fur. It
Oh,
might be a little weird.
you're right.
Understandable.
get-
Good point.
A lot of
Wonder what tabaxis do.
They get their sweet rolls stolen.
They don't get to eat their sweet roll at all.
Like innocent little L. uh,
So, does everybody just like get ready to keep moving? Is there anything else anybody would like to do in this magical house before you move onwards?
I'll think of a piece of paper and the writing utensil and be like, okay, which direction do we go to find Gavin?
They draw like a picture of the house, and then like they draw like a picture of like the chasm, and then they draw a picture of like the wizard tower that basically just shows you just keep going like a little bit, but like a little bit to the right, and then you'll get there.
Too bad when we take this out of the house, it will disappear. This would be a good map.
Yeah, Dragon just reaches for his backpack and Bell and sees that Bell is
Oh,
on
right.
it.
You
It's
have
like,
a paper.
oh,
Wow.
yeah.
Okay.
it.
This is one of those okay Zoomer moments.
What was the ghost's name? What was it?
I wrote it down.
Ardell.
Arwell.
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 So I just want to like tell him thank you for the cozy stay before we leave. We can like do that at the end when we're actually like on our way out the door. But oh, I got.
Arwell, is there any way to help you? Are you like good here?
There's a pause. And then they just write talk to Gavin on the paper.
Okay.
Sounds good.
I mean, I could. Never mind. That was kind of violent. I was gonna say I could, if you want to pass on, I could like mark you for them to come take you. But that was really, really scary last time. Never mind. I won't tell anyone you're here until we talk to Gavin.
There's no response to the amount of information you just gave about whatever you just said. So just before you move onwards, was there anybody who like, I know Illyria, you try to appreciate something beautiful every day. Like, did you want to have a moment like as you were doing your like morning meditation, or are you just like ready to keep going?
I'm just ready to keep going.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Everybody brushes themselves up and gets ready, and you say a kind of goodbye to Arwell.
Dragomir, do you want me to draw your wife's photo so you can have it?
But you see Dragomir just pause for a second, having not remotely considered this as a possibility, and look up at Fel, and you see just in the corner of one eye, a tear starts to form and drip down, kind of chokes back some sobs and says, "You're you really do that for me? In like the softest voice that you can, like, it's not his normal Dragomir, like, I'm here voice. It's like kind of meek and like gracious is the sound that's coming when he says that.
Without even saying anything, just pulls out one of his other notebooks, just that's probably a bigger one that he has, and just starts like sketching and boop, 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 boop. And it would hopefully, I don't know if I need to roll, but it would hopefully be like a direct replica of the photo.
I'm not going to make you roll on this because the results would be crashing if you rolled low. So no, you do a good job of painting your friend's wife who's passed on. Yeah, you do a beautiful job.
Rip ever so gently, and
I was there when Fell said he doesn't rip pages out of his book, right?
I don't remember him saying that, so that's up to you.
I don't remember that either.
I vaguely remember that because I think Meep was just like, just rip me out a piece of
Yeah,
paper, and I was
don't
just like,
remember if
no,
I
I
was
don't rip things
there.
out, and blah blah. So yeah, it's without even hesitation this time though, because it's just
So Dragomir just sort of takes it and like gets out his notebook and finds a page that's not like stained with ink or just somewhere in his book that's clear and hasn't been written on. There's no coffee stains on the paper, and it's just a clean spot, and slides it in. It just gives him like one of those heartfelt looks of, what's the word I'm looking for? It's just when someone kind of,
Gratitude?
someone kind of, it's gratitude, just kind of looks at you and is so amazed that that's something that you would do for them, but can't really find the words to like speak it, and just kind of, gives him like one of those like bumps that he's been doing since he started respecting Fell the whole time.
you can pay me the gold later. It's okay.
That's when you hear Dragomir like the sullen, like happy sullenness that was kind of over him from this picture breaks, and just lets out a huge laugh at Fell's joke.
Yeah, and where are Meep and Deliria? Because it takes a little bit of time to do this drawing. So what are Meep and Deliria doing in the meantime?
Illyria goes back and kind of looks at the room and like kind of thinks about a sort of quote normal life, like what her childhood could have been. And then it's like, this is more fun anyway. That bed was kind of pretty though. Maybe when I'm a grown up.
And then we just see you close the door on that room.
Mhm.
And then Meep, are you out in the hallway and you see Illyria exit her room and close the door?
Like she walked into the hallway?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I see Illyria. I'm walking out of Dragomir's room. And I look at her, and I guess I've been kind of in my thoughts a lot in the morning too. And I just want to relax a little bit, and I say to Illyria, "Do you ever had your hair braided before?
Yeah. You see me in braids a lot.
Do you want me to do a braid?"
Absolutely.
I braided Dragomir's beard one time. I would love to do a braid in your hair.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's so like Meep is super excited about this because she's just all about braids. And I guess they go downstairs and sit down downstairs, and she puts a nice little fishtail braid on this just through the side of Illyria's head. And they talk about Botley because she was thinking a lot about Botley and how she never really considered the fact that he's really a Minotaur. Like, it makes sense, but everybody kind of turned a blind eye to that.
So wait, but was his family actually Furbolgs, or were they
Yes.
Minotaurs too? Oh,
They-
okay, so he
they
really
actually
was
were.
adopted.
He really was
Okay.
adopted, and he never talked about it, and his family never talked about it. Like it
Oh,
was, yeah.
that's sad.
I mean, it was obvious, but we didn't want to say anything.
That's so sad. We have so many people that like, I don't know, we kind of adopted into our found family in the, in the troop. So it's just weird to me that they wouldn't talk about it.
Where I come from, that's people don't talk about the things like that. You just hush that down and you don't talk about that. I don't know. There part of me that thinks that you'd really like him. Some of the things Botley says, I'm like, Illyria would she would laugh at that.
Didn't he like overstep some boundaries or something though?
Yeah, so this is the thing.
Oh,
So the
okay.
thing is, he's really funny and he's really kind a lot of the time, but I realized I just couldn't tolerate like, sometimes people cross a boundary and you go, "Okay, I'm watching that." And then like the next day they do the exact same thing and then they do it again and again and you're like, there is no other better option besides to just remove myself. That's what I had to do.
Valid.
Yep. He taught me a lot of stuff though.
That's good.
I do
sorry
miss
that
his purple
happened.
fur. That's okay. I met a lot of really cool people since then, so
That's true. We are pretty cool.
such an Illyria thing to say. I just continue braiding her hair and like nodding like, we are really cool.
Yeah.
There is one more thing I want to do as Fel.
Okay.
But other people can do stuff first if they have things they need to do.
Hey, Illyria, what were you looking for again at the library?
About true followers of fate.
Meep said there were books there, right?
Yeah. I mean, this wizard might know some information though, too, right? Because he had to go to school to be a wizard.
But
he had to study magic. He didn't just like
do
pray and get
do
it.
you think the ghost could make a version of the book from the library if Meep knows what it is?
Maybe.
We have to go to the library. It's a wizard, right? Don't you think a wizard could just portal to the library?
Maybe. If we solve his problems.
Oh boy.
Hard to say.
I have a question. Is Fel nearby, like within earshot? Yeah. Okay. I need a flower. Fel, do you remember when I asked you if you had this flower so that I could summon Danny?
Yeah, the one that's worth about 300 gold or whatever.
I know, it's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have another one of those?
Do I have another flower worth $300 just on me?
Yeah.
No, I don't have that.
Okay. All right. I assumed as much. I just need to ask, where can I find one of those?
Oh, you're asking me?
Yeah, you.
Oh,
You
sorry.
flower boy,
I
yeah.
thought you were just speaking into the universe crazy things.
No,
I
the
don't
one with the
know.
flower crown.
Have you tried here? Can the ghost just like woo?
But it can't
Hey,
come with us, right?
Probably gonna disappear like the sweet roll at the door or the frisbee plate of sweet rolls at the door.
Well, and then I would just like to announce to all of us that I'm trying to find one of these flowers because I think it'd just be beneficial to all of us if I had one, for when we need it.
I
Oh.
can maybe
Is it possible?
Can you summon
draw one?
What?
Does stuff come out gold value when you draw it?
I think that was part of, if I don't remember
No,
correctly,
yeah.
it doesn't it looks like I could draw gold, but like if someone like it's not, or I don't
It
remember.
stays
fully.
2D or something like
The-
that. Yeah.
The super magical paint can only do 25 gold value. If you draw something more valuable, it's made of garbage.
So you just need to do that 6 times for me.
Yeah,
and we'll be
I was
good.
gonna say I could just do it 6 times, and then maybe if you like tape them together.
Yeah. Delary?
How is this phrased?
How is this phrased? No, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Let me take a look.
Just watching Dell's face like furrow even more like as we're talking.
That's the classic GM of
A-
your players
a
just said something
gilded flower.
stupid.
Yeah.
A gilded flower worth at least 300.
So it's one flower.
Yeah. Because like Revivify says like I think a mass of diamonds worth
Yeah,
for
so
this amount. So it can be like dust.
it's an expensive flower that's basically been covered in gold.
And that's what I need to summon Faye.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna keep my eyes peeled. I don't think that we can like finagle something together here from the sounds of it. But if you see one, or if you see someone selling one,
I'm sorry, Meep. I need to understand this.
yes,
You're telling me someone took a beautiful flower,
Mhm.
plucked it from the ground,
What
and
are we
then
selling?
covered it in gold.
Illyria, way to go! Like you could have kept that to yourself. Listen, did you or did you not see Danny?
I
Did
choose
he or
to
did he
ignore
not
Danny
help?
because I don't like him.
Yeah, I don't like him either. No one likes him. He's Danny, but he helped.
Can't
Did
you
he not
summon
help?
different Fae? Does it have to
I
be
could.
Danny every time?
It
Yeah,
doesn't
you
have
can
to
summon
be
different ones.
It doesn't have to be Danny, but the thing is, Danny did help us. He's an ignorant son of a. He's so annoying, but helpful.
Did he help?
Yeah, he irritated the hell out of those monsters.
What language did Danny speak? Like when he was just on Meep's shoulder, like, go over there, go over here. Was it Sylvan?
It might have been Sylvan.
Sure was.
I speak Sylvan, so
Yeah, so do I. He-
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say he didn't help at all. He just pointed at somewhere for you to go look, and you followed. That's not
Yeah.
helping.
You sound jealous, so I don't know. I see why you don't want to summon Danny back.
Conjure a sweet roll and throw it at her face.
I open my mouth.
Touche. Touche, Meep.
Thank you.
No, but I don't know where to find this flower. And if I find whoever puts gold on a flower, I'm probably going to kill them. Just fair warning to anybody. So if you're going to buy that, don't let me be near it.
I've a question before we like take off out of this house. How much intelligence would you have for the ghost to do what you want?
What do you mean?
Like, I assume you have to have like some amount of intelligence for the ghost to like make the thing that you want appear for you.
Oh, so that like if there's like a cat wandering around and it was like,
Yeah.
I want yeah. So like roll an Arcana check if you're trying to do something.
I'm mostly just trying to make something funny happen. That's like not a thing in the room, just a funny scene moment.
Okay. Because yeah,
And-
like the ghost chooses to interact with you. It's not like an automatic thing. Like the ghost
Okay.
is choosing to make this happen for you.
Basically, what I was thinking is our monkey that we've not thought about for the last 2 hours.
Oh, I literally forgot that monkey. Is he with us?
We would all kind of look. He was in my backpack, so he's out hanging out in the house
What?
with us.
This whole time?
The monkey has just been in your backpack summoning one banana after another after another.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's just been like
It
going
walked
between
in.
napping and eating bananas.
Living its best life. Yeah, I just wanted the monkey to do. I just remember the monkey. I was like, wouldn't it be funny if we just had just bananas everywhere for the
Meep runs up to the
I
monkey
forgot
and
that
like
he was there.
It's in my
boops it on
backpack.
its nose and says
Mhm.
to Dragomir, did you name the monkey yet?
You could ask him his name. You
That's-
can talk to animals.
I can talk to animals. I think I can. Let me see. Let me just double check my
you
spells.
could talk to animals.
Yes, I can
yesterday,
speak with
that's fair.
animals. Level 1 spell. Can I talk to this monkey and ask his name?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
While this is happening, I'm gonna go outside and with my paints, I'm gonna paint a sweet roll, start a little fire, and then cook it.
Oh, cooked sweet rolls.
I'll warm it. I mean, I
I've never
want it
had
to
a
be
warm
warm.
sweet roll.
You maybe could have had a warm one, but you stole it.
You could also ask that from outside. You could also ask the house for a hot one.
It's not the same if Fel didn't make it. I wanted a Fel made sweet roll.
Oh, well, this is for science. Don't worry.
Who's science?
I'm testing whether the paints. What? You.
I bet your science is a furball.
I'll fight them.
Science probably is a furbog.
Sounds like it.
Please continue with the monkey shenanigans, though. I need to figure out how this ends.
Okay. So I want to speak with animals. I don't know what I need Del for that, if anything, or if I can just go hoo, 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 and talk to it.
I'm pretty sure you could just cast it. Speak
Okay,
with animals.
I cast speak with animals, and there's nothing. It doesn't look like anything, but you hear just a bunch of like a whatever sound a giraffe makes. You hear an elephant, and you hear like all these animal noises. And I look at this animal, I give a little boop on the nose for the monkey again, and I go, ooh, 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 ooh. What is your name? And yeah.
And everybody else hears back, ooh, 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 ooh. But what Amber goes, hi, I'm Bartholomew.
Oh my god, that's such a good name!
Bartholomew! So much.
Oh, do you have enough bananas? You good? How you feel? Like, ooh, 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 ooh.
I have eaten so many bananas.
Good.
They
Would
just
you like
keep
a sweet roll?
appearing. What's a sweet roll?
Oh
Is it a
my
banana?
god, do I have something for you? And I reach and I just grab a sweet roll, because at this point they're everywhere. And give it to the monkey. Give it to Bartholomew. I turn around to the group and I go, Bartholomew.
Oh, what a distinguished name for such a little guy.
He's a very distinguished gentleman. Yes.
Picks up the sweet roll and like with both hands and like taps it on Dragomir's back because he's in Dragomir's backpack, and like shakes it and then starts peeling it, because like a sweet roll is like twirl that keeps peeling, and it just keeps peeling it, and it's like, where's the banana?
It's disguised.
Why?
For fun.
I don't like this. I
still
want a banana. And then a
Okay,
banana appears and it like tosses the sweet roll aside. It takes the banana and starts peeling it.
And we're still in the house in the stone. I summon a small top hat and I grab it and I go, "Boop, fine young gentleman."
It like grabs the hat and like does like the tapping thing again and like listens to it and then puts it on its head and then continues peeling its banana.
I like Bartholomew. I don't know about all of you, but I think he's cool. He passes the vibe check for me. Meep's happy.
You have really changed your tune on this little guy since yesterday.
I don't want him as a pet, but like, come on, look at him.
It's true.
Science is ready. Okay. Walks inside with his like pan. Okay. I made this with paint and I warmed it up. Someone summon a sweet roll. Someone try that and then try this. And we're going to see if these paints make food. Who wants to go?
I just look over at
You
Meep.
go.
Meep does a little sweet roll, and she has a sweet roll, and then gives it to Fel.
You're
Am I the quality
doing the
tester?
science.
Yeah. Yeah, this will
So-
be fine.
okay, So
This'll be
I
fine.
come up to Fel. Wait, are you going to eat it, Fel?
Unless you want to eat it.
Meep looks at Fel. Do you think I want to eat it?
I kind of think you want to eat it.
I kind of do want to eat it.
All right, here you go. Start with the good one first.
Okay,
Or with
she
the
walks
with the
up to
actual.
him, and with her very pointy teeth, kind of like hops up a little and just like takes a bite out of one hand and has not your hand, the sweet roll from your hand.
Meep, you can hold it.
It's okay. My hands are sticky from a bananas and sweet roll. It's fine.
Okay,
Takes a
well, this
bite
one's
with
in
her
a pan, so don't bite it because you're just gonna chip a tooth on the pan.
Have you seen my teeth? It's fine. No one will be able to tell. And I lean in. I take a bite of the other, the one he cooked, and I go, you need to try this. This is new. You're onto something, Fel.
Does it actually taste good?
Yeah, how does
it-
food taste?
How
This
does
is
this
the one
work?
that Fel painted, right?
He
Yeah.
painted it.
Yeah, it tastes like a sweet roll.
It tastes like a sweet roll, but like amp it up 10 notches. It's warm and it's melty, and you can taste all the other flavors in it that you couldn't really when it was kind of like stale.
It's
It's
the
good.
love that Fel put into painting it.
It's the love.
It's probably the mercury in the paint, but you know, whatever
Yeah.
adds flavor.
Come to think of it, Fel,
Yes.
we did feed the monkey paint bananas, and it's still fine.
Oh, that's true.
It doesn't mean that it tasted good.
This tastes good. Sweet
Can you
rolls.
still talk
now
to
with love.
Bartholomew?
What?
Can you still talk to Bartholomew, or is
I
that
think
spell
so.
one
How
off?
long does the
for
spell
10
last?
minutes.
Oh, yeah, I can
Oh,
still
It
talk
has
to
been
him.
10 minutes. Yeah.
Boom. Drawing banana. Ask him what he thinks of this one.
Okay. I take the banana and I walk up to Dragomir and I just like run around behind him and I go and hand it to Bartholomew.
Bartholomew tosses the banana that they were halfway through eating and takes the new one and starts like peeling it and takes a bite and just like chomps down on it.
So I look at Bartholomew and I talk to him. I say, how
Did
does
you
it
just do
compare
the
to the other
McDonald's
one?
theme?
Intentionally.
And Bartholomew goes, I'm
He's
loving
loving
it.
I'm glad you're loving it, Bartholomew. I'm glad. Is it
Hashtag
better
not
than the other?
sponsored. Not
Not
sponsored.
sponsored. Yeah, not at all. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay.
And I think
so
with that, we leave the house. I think we leave the house.
Time to
now.
go.
Yeah.
that's enough. We're leaving.
We've peeked at
Thanks,
how
ghost
let's get
thing.
out of here.
And yeah, you go along on a walk. You have about an hour's time to kill before you start to see a tower peering through the trees. Was there anything else anybody wanted to do before you reach the wizard's house?
So are we just keeping this monkey? Is that
Yeah.
I
For
tell the
now,
monkey to
while
stay
we're
away
in the
from me.
jungle
Hang out
till
with
it
my
decides
backpack.
he's not our friend.
should we take him out to like use the restroom?
Well, he can get in and out. My backpack is like open for him to like climb out. And you went into there.
Didn't we just spend a night and a half and he didn't get out of that bag because he was just eating bananas?
I mean, if you have a comfortable place to sleep and unlimited food, would you get out of the bag?
That's fair.
Is it also a bag of holding? Because that would make more sense.
No, it's just a backpack.
No. Big backpack. Okay.
I don't think you want to put organic matter into a bag of holding.
No.
Oh.
No, you absolutely do not. He will only last in there for 10 minutes. And
Yeah.
he could last in there for 9 minutes and 50 something seconds.
Some of these spaces are like a vacuum. There's not a lot of oxygen in there.
So Meep still doesn't like the monkey. Like this is the thing. Like Meep thinks that he's a pretty chill dude and likes his little top hat and everything, and he's got a pretty cool, distinguished name. But I don't know, some of the monkeys like freak her out a little bit. So it's the little fingers. No.
It's so valid.
Mhm.
He also no longer has a top hat because we left the house.
Oh that's right. No top hat anymore. I liked him better with the top hat.
What if Val paints him a top hat? Just a tiny little top hat for a distinguished monkey
Solution.
friend.
Potential solution.
I assume we're doing this while we walk.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
walking.
so
Okay.
wizards. We're-
Okay. We're just a little distracted. ADHD tangent.
Yes.
You you see Fel like not even pull out the paints. He just kind of pulls into a pocket and pulls out 6 different hats. I'm already way ahead of you.
Which hat should we
Wait.
give him?
Well, there's a little top hat, kind of similar to the one you did. There's like a veil, kind of like a wedding veil. I don't know. I thought it would be cute.
You have a
There's
beret?
also like a little mini flower crown that's kind of like mine.
That's cute. What it-
There's like a bandana. I don't know if those exist, but there's a bandana because it. And number 5 is the hat that's kind of like the Arby's logo hat.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Pharrell's happy hat. Because I don't know what else is here.
In the top hat.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Dragomir, it's your dragon. It's your monkey. What would you like to put up? What kind of hat?
So I
What
think
kind of hat should he wear?
I think at this point he's just riding on my shoulder and looks over at the hats and jumps over and picks one. Question is which one?
Oh,
does he
and really
pick?
quick, pulls out a little hammer that looks like Dragomir's. I thought this was cute too, so
It's getting cooler every minute.
So monkey grabs the hammer and looks over at like me and sees the hammer, and then he like looks up at Fel, who handed it to him, and picks up the little flower crown and does the little tap like he did before, and then just kind of like plops it on his head and jumps back over to my shoulder and like hangs out in the backpack.
I love him.
A monkey named Bartholomew with a flower crown.
And a freaking warhammer.
D&D is a beautiful game. So I think there's like just the entire time that you're walking, there's an air of frivolity as this monkey picks out a hat and you give it a little warhammer and you like talk with the monkey and everybody's hanging out and having a nice time. And then you take a step and all of a sudden it's like the skies have gone gray, the forest has gone quiet. And you are standing in the shadow of a large tower that looks everything like you'd want a wizard's tower to look like. It is tall and cylindrical. The stone is weathered and covered in vines. There is windows that you could see glistening trinkets in. There is like a weird colored smoke coming out from one window. Everything about this tower just screams Wizard's Tower. Unfortunately, the vibes are not great. Everything feels dark. All of a sudden, the severity of your quest comes back to you as you remember the undead problem, and the fact that you are going to this wizard to ask some questions about the undead problem. And so the laughter dies out and fades away. As we see the four of you and a monkey with a flower crown look up at this tower, just looming before you. And that's where we're going to take our last break. Hello, welcome back, everybody. I hope you all had a wonderful break. I hope you got your snacks or anything you need, took a stretch, did what you have to do. We're going into the final hour of session 5 of Into the Darkness. Next week will be our season finale. So I'm assuming everybody who's here is caught up, but if you're not, if you watch one episode a day starting tomorrow, that gives you an extra day to catch up with everything because there's 6 days and only 5 episodes. Wow, math is wild. Thank you all so much for being here and hanging out. Just a reminder, any bits you spent tonight go towards the mod team because the mod team is doing the most out here and we appreciate them so much. If you want to support us, the cast, you can do so through our Pally at !DnD. It helps us to keep putting out shows like this, as well as goes into our production fund and helps us buy groceries. So we have a lot of appreciation for that. Just to catch everybody up on the story so far, our team has been investigating a monster problem in the continent of Alda Amarth, which is largely a jungle continent. As they got deeper and deeper into the jungle, they have found out that not only is there a monster problem, but people aren't staying dead, which isn't really a thing in this world. There seems to be an undead problem. So they were asked by people at the stronghold to help investigate with like the monsters and the undead. And they were trying to figure out what to do when a letter arrives at the stronghold from a wizard saying, I have information about your undead problem. Come talk to me. So our adventurers left the stronghold, journeyed out here, hiding from monsters, befriending monkeys, and getting a little bit sidetracked in a house that gives you anything you want. And after some friendship affirming moments, which everybody's eyes were very, very dry, no one cried, they are now standing at the base of a tower. It is a wizard's tower. You can just tell by looking at it. It's tall. It has like a turret, like a pointy top. It's made of stone. It's weathered. It has vines creeping up it, and everything about it just feels magical. There is a wooden door in front of you. What would you like to do?
I feel
I'll
like
knock on the
Fel-
door.
Oh yeah, I was gonna
Oh
say.
my
okay.
god.
I'm gonna walk straight up to it and be like, boop, boop, boop.
Yeah, so the door swings open, and inside you can smell a little bit of smoke. You can smell potions being brewed. You can smell alchemy. You can smell different like dried ingredients. And you hear a voice say, "Come in."
Hey, this one is definitely the Wizard's Tower. Let's head in. Yeah, let's head up the
Mhm.
stairs. Or was it stairs? Yeah,
And-
let's head up.
Yeah, there's spiral
Yeah.
staircase going up. Because of course there is.
Yeah, it's literally what I
Yeah,
assumed.
the Wizard's Tower.
So there is all sorts of ingredients around tables. There are dried flowers, there are diamonds, there are sticks and twigs. Everything a spellcaster could possibly need and more is littered around. There are herbs hanging in the window. There are pots and jars full of different things, some things you don't really want to look at too longly. And yeah, there is something that you would all recognize as like a wizard familiar. There is Can wizards have a pseudo dragon? This one does. There's a pseudo dragon that's like floating around and twirling. Um that you can tell is like waiting to lead you up the stairs.
I guess we follow the familiar to find the wizard, maybe?
Should we steal a diamond?
We shouldn't steal
No,
anything.
maybe
don't
he'll
want
give
to.
us things.
I kind of
Maybe
want to
he'll
steal a
give us the
diamond.
diamonds.
What if he doesn't though? I need a
Then
300 gold
we
flower.
are-
here to stop.
I already
the
have
undead.
diamonds to prevent you from dying. Let's go.
Okay. She listens and goes.
Meep, will you make a perception check for me?
Yep. Okay, perception. 9. 3 plus 6.
Okay, yeah, you take a glance around and there's all sorts of shiny things. And everybody starts to walk up the stairs.
Okay.
So
Got my eyes on Meep.
as you go up the stairs, it seems like the first floor that you entered in was largely like a storage area of like all sorts of supplies. The second area, there seems to, as you wind your way up the stairs, there's like there's like work tables and benches. There's an alchemy table. There's empty potion bottles. There's scales. And you keep on climbing up. And then when you get to one of the higher up floors, there's a room that is just covered in books. There's just books all over the place. And there is a man sitting at a desk in the room. The floor has stacks of books on it. His desk is covered in books, and he has one in front of him. And a scroll that he's like writing, and he's like drawing like circles and geometric symbols. And he looks up and he says, "Oh, you're here. Welcome. Should I put on a kettle and we can chat? I'm assuming you're from the town."
We are
The town.
the stronghold.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Stronghold. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, he gets up. He is tall. He is a half elf. He's like 35 or 40 years old, and there's like people often think of wizards as being like, you know, they stay inside all day. They have long, scraggly beards. They're like skinny and weak. This man is large. He is broad. He is hairy. He has like really like curly hair. He's very graceful. Like when he stands up, he's wearing like flowing robes as a wizard would. There are some stereotypes about wizards that are true. And he moves over to the corner where there's like a like heavy metal kettle, and he taps it with a wand, and it begins to heat up. And then he waves his wand again, and 5 cups appear and like set themselves up. And then he grabs like some dried herbs and starts making tea.
Meep can
Meepy's
tell this.
hot.
Literally was just about to say that to you, Fel.
Right?
You know what? I'm gonna go. I'm gonna do it. She feels like he's
What are you
a
gonna-
very.
What are you gonna do?
What are you doing?
She feels that like a nice wizard. Like he seems nice and warm and sweet and gentle. So she kind of walks up to him. Hi, I'm Meep Wimbella. What's your name? Are you Gavin? I think you're Gavin.
Hi, yeah, my name is Gavin, and he puts out a big broad hand and shakes your hand. He doesn't do that like thing when people try to like hold your hand harder and shake
I
it
hate
harder. Like
that.
yeah, but he also doesn't like take it very daintily. It's just like a normal handshake. And it's like, I'm honored that you made the journey out here to listen to me. Thank you so much.
Oh, of course. It was nothing. It was so easy. And I look to the group and I say, that's Dragomir, that's Illyria, and that's Fel. Fel's really cool. You should meet Fel. Wink.
Do
Did you just say wink out
wink?
loud, Meep?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, Meep, you're so embarrassing. Ah.
Illyria, Dragomir, Felwink, it's so nice to meet you.
No, not fell. Just fell.
Fel,
Just fell.
it's very nice to meet you. Does anybody take anything in their tea?
Sugar would be good.
I like
Yeah.
honey
Just plain.
because it's sweet like you. I have to say it. Oh my God.
Oh, Meep.
She just like
Um,
looks up like
He smiles, but like his eyes look tired.
oh.
And yeah,
Most people
he
look that way to me when they're
he
talking
waves
to
his
her.
wand, and like honey goes into one cup, sugar goes into the other. And once the kettle starts whistling, he takes it and he pours it and hands you each a cup. And he waves his wand, and chairs all conjure. And he says, "Please have a seat. And thank you so much for coming to help me with what's happening."
Is this a comfortable chair for Fel, or is it like a normal sized chair and he's just sitting there like when you have to sit in a kid's chair?
No, it's big enough for you.
Okay.
And like he takes a sip of his tea, and then he kind of like lets out a little breath, and then he sets his cup down, and like folds his hands on his lap, and looks up and says, to introduce myself properly, my name is Gavin, and I am a necromancer. I have been out here studying magic with my brother for several years.
You're not a wizard then.
I was a wizard.
Maybe just got
What
less
did-
hot.
But like, what did you
Mm-mm.
do? Why won't people die now
Fel, no.
in like a huge radius?
All I ask is that you listen until the end before you make any judgment calls, so that you have all the information that I did to help you on your journey.
I'm listening,
Also,
but
just
I am
hanging out and
skeptical, I will say.
Yeah, he lets out another breath and he nods and he says, "I understand. That is the treatment I deserve after what I've done." And he says, "I had a brother named Arwell, and we moved out here a long time ago after graduating from the Magic Academy to study magic that was not taught to us during our time in school. Many wizards study under the watch of Astora, the god of new magic. But we wanted to research magic under Mythos, the old god of magic, which is not allowed in any of the academies or schools. So we moved out here to do our research and to be able to conduct experiments far away from anybody so that no harm would come to anybody else. And for the most part, we've learned some things, but it it hasn't always been easy, and some of the spells that we cast were dangerous. A month ago, our role was doing one of these experiments, and something went terribly wrong. And I had been out gathering materials when I heard a sound like I've never heard before. It was like the world was being ripped apart. So I ran home as quickly as I could, and Arwell was on the floor. And I think at this point, the storytelling changes to a cinematic perspective. And we see Gavin running home, and we see him burst into a room. And we see another half elf man there who's similarly built but a little bit shorter. His hair is a little bit lighter, and he's laying on the floor. His skin is pale, and there is um, sigils drawn all over the ground, and a lot of them are a very dark red color. And Arwell is laying in a dark red pool. Um, and we see Gavin rush into the room, and we see him like go to Arwell and like pull him up, and we see uh Gavin like casting like healing magic with like a glowing coming from his hand as he tries to cast healing, but Arwell remains limp in his arms. Um and we see the scene. There's no sound, there's dramatic music, but we see Gavin scream, and we see him crying. um, but we don't hear any of that sound. And then we see Gavin start looking frantically side to side, and we see the pool of blood that's on the ground, and we see Gavin put his hands into it and start drawing more sigils on the ground. And we see him draw a circle, and we see him drawing like shapes within the circle. um, and then we see him yell something, and the shapes and sigils and circles that he's drawn on the ground all start to glow, and the room is just filled with blinding light, and we can't see anything more. And then we get a shot of outside of the wizard tower, and we see a green light shooting out of all of the windows. We see that the sky above has gone a dark gray. We hear the clouds roaring with thunder. We see like birds flying away. And then we hear a ripping and a tearing sound. And then we go back to the room with four of you listening to Gavin as he talks. And he says, Arwell didn't come back, but he has been writing me messages on paper that he's still here and he can't leave. And then we started getting messages from the town that they had heard something. And then we got a message that people weren't dying. And I've noticed that the birds and the squirrels around aren't dying and continue to wander around. And I think it might be related to what I did.
I think you're right
Yeah, you
because
think?
the timeline adds up.
So you see Dragomir listening to the story, and he just kind of stands up out of his chair. It's not in a threatening way. He just sort of stands up and walks over to this half elf and just kind of claps him on the shoulder and says, I understand why you did what you did. It hurts to lose someone, but some things are not meant to be messed with by us. I think we should try and clean this up.
Yeah, and when you do that, like tears just start like spilling and like running down his face. Um, and he goes, I did not expect to be met with sympathy for the crimes that I have committed. I don't know how to undo it.
Well, we could find out. Maybe we found out a lot of things, right?
Kind of. I don't know. I think that um no offense, but I think that Zolzotl is kind of on to the fact that some people who are supposed to be going aren't moving on. Because the Reapers gave me a new power to mark undead. So they certainly know something is off.
The magic I cast was to try to grant a temporary shield from Zolzotl so that I had time to find a way to bring my brother back. But I have a feeling the clouds that I put up to hide from his gaze spread further than I had any idea was possible.
Hmm.
Well,
It's causing a lot of problems for the stronghold.
I wouldn't do it again if I had the choice.
yeah. Well, that doesn't really help us right now. Meep is getting frustrated. She is there like a table around or something?
Yep. There's
Okay.
like a coffee table.
Is it near
Yep.
him, Gavin? Okay. She walks over and she like hoists herself like kind of up on top of the table and stands up face to face with him and says, "Look, you big time messed up and it's potentially going to cause harm to my family. Who do you know we can talk to fix this? Or Arwell, we know we can talk to him. We have paper and we've been doing that. What do we do? Do you know?" She's tapping her foot on the table. Hand on hip.
So he looks like he was just slapped in the face, but he doesn't look like upset about it. He looks like, yeah, I was waiting for somebody to slap me in the face. And he says, I don't know who can fix this. I didn't know I was even capable of this. I thought this was going to be a small thing. I've never used this kind of magic before. I didn't know this kind of magic was possible.
She looks him in his eyes and she can feel that he genuinely feels bad. So she kind of relaxes her demeanor a little bit and she says, "Okay." And she's trying to fight feeling angry because she knows that he didn't mean it and he was just mourning the loss of his brother. We're going to look into it. We might be able to contact somebody. I mean, Illyria's really smart. Do you need a hug?
He doesn't say anything to that, but he looks just broken when you say that.
I put my little arms out. So if he wants one, he can.
Yeah, I think he falls like sobbing onto his knees and lets you give him a big hug and like hugs you back.
Okay, I pet his head and give him a little. It's gonna be okay. I know you fucked up. It's fine. We all fucked up. I look back like, what are we doing to the rest of the team?
So the Reapers told me to find a cleric of Onos. It's the god of time. But as far as I know, those don't exist.
Ooh, we could
Could-
so library.
But could those clerics, if they existed, they must have some kind of time magic, right?
We
Could
were
they go
told
back and
that
undo it?
only Astora could create magic for wizards to harness in school, and yet here I am casting magic through the old god of Mythos. So if there are clerics of time out there, I would not be surprised. And he's still kind of like gulping air a little bit.
When you were so they only talked about Astora? So in school you didn't learn about fate?
We were there to study magic, so we mostly researched under Astora. There were some departments who studied divine magic, but that was my minor.
So there was nobody. But there might be people at the school that know about fate as the old god.
They try to
And
study any god that
almost.
has a relationship with providing magic with those who are looking to use it. They study warlocks, they study sorcerers, they study divine magic. They might know someone.
Del, you said this person was a wizard. They're not anymore.
So they're a necromancer, which is kind of like the way like a Pokemon evolves. And if you have an Eevee and you give it different stones, it can evolve different ways. This person has evolved into a necromancer, which he was a wizard, but now he's a wizard who specializes in death and dying.
But he's pretty powerful and can do
Yes.
wizardy stuff. Okay.
Yes.
I look at him and I say, it could really help us if we could get to a specific location that has more information about this for Illyria. Are you able to like portal rift something like to get back to where I'm from so that we can check out the library?
You're looking to teleport?
Exactly. That's the word. Yep.
Are you very familiar with this place that you're trying to go?
Yeah, I didn't really go many other places.
Let me just check something.
Meep, are you sure about this?
What else do you have any other plans? Fel? Because
No, but I
right
just
now
know you left that place.
okay. I don't want to go, but guess what? This time I'm going with family. I'm going with backup. So if they make fun of me or if they try any shit, I don't think it's going to go very far. I feel good. It's good. We got this.
How do we get back once we teleport over there?
Good question. I don't know.
Maybe I don't know how long this would take. But maybe we could teleport to our ship and then fly it there so that way we can come back.
True.
I don't know. Can our ship did we put our ship back in the bottle?
Yeah, so you have your ship with you. The issue with air travel in Alda Marth is there's so many skylands that are very low and like basically debris and like jungle. So it's almost impossible to sail ships, which is why Alda Marth is largely unsettled other than like the nomadic tribes who live there.
But theoretically we could at least fly back with our ship in a bottle to all the outskirts of Alda Marth the way we got here the first time. If we didn't have another way to teleport back. Right now, the main issue is that we just don't have a lot of like we don't know what the time
Is it a specific book or like we need to go to the library?
So you know that there's information at the library about fate, I think is what we learned last time.
So I might know that book.
Yeah. You basically, if I remember correctly, Lyra showed you the emblem and you recognized it as the parental figure of what we currently know as the god of fate. And you said that in the books at the library is where we could get more information about that specifically.
Okay. If we open, I don't know how this works exactly myself. I'm just a 200-year-old elf. If you open a rift, can we keep that open? Like we'll guard it to make sure nothing weird comes through. But if we like send one of us and like wait for them to come back, because like I don't know if you've met Bartholomew, like he's pretty cool. We could send him to go fetch a specific book that I know the name of, and maybe that would help.
The more familiar this is the wizard talking. The more familiar that I am with the location you are trying to go, the more likely I'll be able to help and to keep a door open. I've been to many libraries. What library is this?
In the tree.
The library in the tree is apparently the official name.
I knew it was coming. I still
What do you have information on where?
You're from the
Yes.
Library of the Lost Woods?
Do you go into a tree in there?
I've been there.
Yeah, I guess. Nobody really talked about it. It's just the tree. You go to the library in the tree. In the Lost Woods. I guess.
The magic in that forest is so different and wild and unpredictable that the only way to get there is by foot. I could try, but the chances of it succeeding are very low.
Well, if it is the library, the same one that you're thinking of, then yeah, I don't want to risk that. So much
There's
for-
not very many tree libraries.
Wait, how far away is that? Because I don't know where I am. Like, I'm very confused as to where I came from. So how far away is the Lost Woods?
It is in the Sky Islands, in a very strange place where distance ceases to have meaning because the wild magic is so unpredictable. So to get there even once, let alone multiple times, is an incredible feat.
So maybe not that.
Maybe not
Maybe
that.
not that.
No,
What
not
if Phil
that,
drew the
not
book?
that.
Can Phil draw the book? The words come into paint
I
the
think
book?
it would just be the cover of the book. Is
Yeah.
what would
I can draw the
happen.
cover
trying
real
to-
nice, but I don't know anything inside of it.
I'm trying, friends.
Could we ask Apara?
Ask her what exactly.
Well,
You've met Apara?
You know
She
Apara?
sucked us into her dimension one time.
She gave me a thread.
She also gave us this, and can I like grab the beans? I don't know who has them.
I keep them in the bag of holding. I can grab them out if
Oh.
you would like.
Yeah, like they also gave us these beans that we don't know what they do. I thought about eating them, but
Oh,
We
you have a
planted
bag of
one and it made
beans.
screaming
They make
mushrooms.
screaming
that's
fungus.
right. Never mind.
yeah.
How many beans do you have in there? Those are valuable.
We have 6 left.
Oh, they do all sorts of things. You said screaming mushrooms?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Fascinating. And he starts like you could see him like his fingers twitching.
So to circle back, Apara, do you think Apara could help us with the clouds?
So he lets out a sigh and he says, "There's something I'd like to show you, but I just have to prepare it. If you can wait 5 minutes, I'll go upstairs." Yeah, so he goes up the stairs, and you are left in this room covered in books.
How much should we trust a necromancer?
Probably not a
I'm
lot.
gonna start looking
He is
for a
just
book
cute.
with the symbol of the cleric of Onos or Fate.
I want,
I'm just gonna look everywhere.
and I want to use locate object because I feel like he's holding something back.
Okay, so Illyria, roll investigation. And then you're using locate object.
Mm-hmm.
What are you trying to locate?
Describe or name an object that's familiar to you. I feel like Gavin knows what's up, and I think he knows how to fix it. I don't know why, but that's just what my Meep bones are telling me. So I think he has information on this somewhere in here. I have to describe or name an object that's familiar to me. I'm going to describe there are 3 specific books that I have in mind. One is purple, one is red, and one is blue. And they all have gold like titles on them. I want to look for. Can I look for 3 books or could I have to look for 1 book?
You sense the direction's object as long as the object is within 1,000 feet. If the object is in motion, you know the direction of its movement. This spell can locate a specific object known to you as long as you have seen it up close within 30 feet at least once.
Okay.
Alternatively, the spell can locate the nearest object of a particular kind, such as a certain kind of apparel, jewelry, furniture, tool, or weapon. So if it's like a book series, I would say,
series.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'd say that's okay.
Okay, then I want to look for one of these series of books that has more information on this nearby.
Okay, so
Can I help Illyria in any way? Like,
yeah,
know.
absolutely. So the book series that's familiar to you with gold lettering on it, what is this book series about? Meep.
It's about what Illyria is looking for more information on. So
About Onos
fate,
and fates.
Oh.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So Illyria, you begin to look. And before
I rolled
you
an
even-
8, so I don't find anything.
Uh-oh.
before you hardly have a chance, Meep just goes up to a shelf and plucks down a book. There is only one of them. But it was purple was one of the colors you listed,
Mhm.
right? Yeah, it
Yep.
is a dark, like purpley blue. And in like silvery writing on the front, there are drawings of stars, and there is a drawing of an hourglass. But in the place of stars, where the sand, in the place of sand, there is stars within the hourglass. On the cover of this thick, dusty, heavy tome.
Is that it? Is that the book?
Yeah, it's a book. This is it. That bastard had this.
Why does he have one of these?
I don't know, but I think he knows stuff he's not letting on to us.
I'll turn to the index and look for cleric. I'm
So-
assuming it's like a textbook. I don't know. It could be a storybook.
This is a thick book, but in the table of contents, there is a section for divine worship. And if you go to it, there's like stuff that you would know as a cleric, but specifically for Onos, there is description of typical holy symbols, which would often be pocket watches and hourglasses and things like that. There is like some information about time clerics, which is another like class that basically exists. And yeah, there's just some information about what time clerics can do. And that's in like the worshiper section. This book is old and dusty. Is there anything else you're looking for as you're just kind of like skimming through in like the couple minutes you have left until you go upstairs? You don't get like a deep understanding because you only have a couple of minutes to skim through it.
Just looking for like where, if a cleric had like a temple, where it might be.
Can we steal the book?
The cleric of Onos. I won't tell if you don't tell.
I wouldn't.
Just ask him for the book.
I don't trust him.
We'll see what he has to say.
Do you think so? Ask.
And maybe if depending on how this next part goes.
Okay, you're gonna confront him. Cool.
I don't know what we're gonna do, but he's preparing something for us, and hopefully
Okay.
it's not to murder us.
Hopefully not.
How you holding up there, Phil? Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
We just found out that he has something that he probably shouldn't, and he's upstairs preparing something that takes 5 minutes. Not
We just
feeling
drank-
great about the situation.
Yeah, we just drank tea he gave us too.
That is true.
Book was very dusty.
I don't think he poisoned us.
Okay.
Well, no.
Maybe though.
Meep, stop drinking it.
We made it really good, all right? It's still hot and everything. Just need a sweet roll.
So after a few minutes, there's like a flash of light from upstairs and a bang.
What?
And you hear a yell.
Was that supposed to happen?
Should we help him?
We should go see what it is.
Yeah,
right,
Fel
let's go.
runs up the stairs.
I'm right behind him, hot on his heels.
Okay. So as you go upstairs, there is a couple of things in this room that is interesting. In the center of the room, there is a large pool of liquid. It's like the height of like a table, and it's glowing like a lightish blue color. Even at a glance, you can see shapes moving within it. The wizard Gavin is standing there. He has his wand in his hand, and like there is air blowing, and you can see that there is a circle that is causing the space around it to ripple and distort. And within this space there is it's like twirling and like distorting, and it's dark. And in the very center of it, it's darkness.
What you up to, Gavin?
And you can see that he's like doing that because there's like wind blowing around the room, and like this thing is as it's turning is making noise. And he yells, and he's just like, I had a teleportation scroll to get us to the forest. But it's not working, and you can see, and then he like tries to like cast the spell again. You can see a spell scroll in the air that is slowly like burning up and like smoking.
Are you opening wild magic rifts?
He doesn't hear you because there's like a lot of noise and wind and stuff. And he goes, if we can fix this with this book, and he like moves closer to this shape and like tries to like stick his arm in it. And then he yells and like brings his arm back, and you can see like his arm is like covered in like lesions, and is like bubbling, and
What book?
the book to help you on your find the info. Meep, as you look inside, you can see a bookshelf.
Oh, can I?
Oh
He put his
no.
hand. He put his arm. He put his arm in, and it came out kind of not great. Can I?
God.
Can I like just like put my like pinky finger in it to see what happens? Maybe it's different. I'm a druid. I don't like just a pinky finger.
I'm gonna touch and give her guidance. I don't know
thank
that it
you.
will help, but you get a D4 on an ability check if you have it.
Roll a D100.
Okay,
Oh,
D100.
No.
Okay, roll a D100. I can do that. Oh, hold on. D100. Roll. 16.
That's not a good face. That's a bad
that's
face.
not good at
That's
all.
a bad face.
That's not good at all.
That's a bad face.
Meep, you pull back your hand. It is short, one finger, and it hurts more than anything you've ever felt in your life.
Okay, I
Don't
start.
do it, don't
I will
cry.
heal you. I'll heal you. I'll heal you.
Ah.
I can't give you your finger back though. Oh, no.
I need 10 fingers.
You have 9 now. I'm so sorry. I think that figure is gone. Don't stick your hand in there anymore. Nobody. Please.
She looks down at her hand and her stump of a pinky, and she just cries. She just weeps in her hand.
Oh no.
And she looks up at Illyria and stops her, and like immediately stops her weeping, furrows her eyebrows, and goes, "We need to get that book."
We have one, don't we?
Apparently, there's not enough in it. I don't know.
I haven't had time to look in them.
Let's get the fuck out of here and read it. Wind is blowing.
Okay.
Her hair is going.
Can you just close this?
Yes.
Shut it down, Gavin.
So Gavin collapses, like he like passes out, and as he goes down and hits the floor, the last of the scroll like burns up and like disappears in a puff of smoke, and like the distortion like writes itself out, and like the darkness in the inside gets smaller, and then everything like smooths out, and you are in the top of a wizard tower. The wizard is passed out in the corner, and there's a large pool of glowing light in the center of the room.
Maybe we should help him. I mean, like he
I mean,
didn't
I'm
tell us
gonna
about the book, but he
cast-
wasn't trying to hurt us with the portal.
Healing word? Does he look like he's injured beyond the lesions on his hand, or is it like more fatigue that he passed out, or
He's like, his face is like drained of any color. He is like sweat on him, like his hand is like bleeding and hurt up to like basically his elbow. So Illyria, you go over to do that. Fel, you glance into the pool in the center of the room, and it immediately grabs your attention. Because you see figures, and you see a forest. You see a forest in this pool. And you move closer and take a look, and Meep and Dragomir and Illyria, you all see Fel approach this pool, and this blue light shining off of him and his hair. When you look within the pool, you see deep within the jungle, further south than the stronghold was. The trees are bigger than anything you've ever seen before in ancient, and there is an army of undead that you can see moving within this pool. You just see them going on for just miles and miles, and you see, as it zooms across, you see somebody who's very clearly like Fae standing and commanding, and like they like wave an arm, and like bodies just rise up from the ground, and their limbs like pop into place as they pick up swords. And then this figure turns and looks directly at you from the pool and waves their arms like that. The surface of the pool goes black. And that's where we're going to
Said
end the
words.
session tonight.
Ah!
I'm one less finger.
emotional damage? Emotional damage.
What about my
So,
finger?
next week
You
is
don't have a
episode
finger.
6, which
I
will
sew
be
you
our
up.
finale of season 1 of Into the Darkness.
I can't believe it. It's wild.
Bubs, thank you for the tip on Pally. We appreciate that so
fun.
much. Yeah, we will be back next Saturday at 4 p.m. Pacific with the season finale of Into the Darkness. Will Meep get her finger back? Who's to say? Who's to say?
I sure hope so. She needs that. Not the
Oh
thingy.
no.
So let's
Not the
go
fingy.
over some goals. I have so many tabs open. Y'all are wild.
Same.
You did give us a room of do whatever you want in, and
Oh, absolutely, I did. I have no regrets. So let's do Illyria's goals first and
Okay.
see
Mhm.
what kind of progress we made today. So make her appreciate something beautiful daily.
She got a bedroom.
You got a
And it was the
beautiful
most
bedroom.
beautiful teenage bedroom she's ever seen.
Hell yeah. Yeah, so you get 1 pip for that.
All right.
Ask the wizard about true followers of faith. Yes,
I
absolutely
definitely
you
asked.
did. So you get a pip for that. Find a
Yeah.
cleric of Onos. You've made progress on that.
Yeah.
So you get a pip for that. Amazing.
Oh my god.
And then after that, we will do Dragomir. So let me pull up your goals. Story time with the party. Hell yeah.
yeah, we did.
Hell yeah. And y'all did such an incredibly just like beautiful job. So you can have 2 pips for that.
Double up.
Help Illyria make her appreciate something beautiful every day. Did you help Illyria with that?
It did give her a very nice knot.
It's true. That's true.
Okay, so you can have 1 pip for that.
Yeah, that's 5.
That's 5. So everybody
Ooh.
down a team XP.
Boop, 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 boop.
And then help Keswick with dealing with the monster problem. You get a pip for that.
Wizard, yeah.
Hell yeah. Incredible. So that is a continual progress, one that's ongoing. Fel, let's take a look at your goals. Find the Australian red leaf. Not today.
Where?
Try out my new eagle eyes. Hell yeah, you get a pip for that. Try to cook something I draw. Yeah. Yeah, you made a sweet roll with a painting. That's pretty
Yeah.
fucking cool. Hell yeah, you get a pip for that.
And that's 5.
Hell yeah.
XP.
So everybody gets a team XP. And then Meep. Let's take a
Hello.
look at your goals. Still looking for a pet of some kind.
No, I mean the monkey's like a team, like a group pet, but no, it's still not done.
Do you feel like you made progress on that?
No.
Okay.
No.
Next up was to get the $300 gilded flower. You made progress. You tried a
made
couple of
progress.
times, so you got
We
a pip for
did.
that. You're
Okay,
working on
thank you.
it.
We are.
You're in a wizard tower that's full of things. And
Exactly.
then find the most perfect hat in the whole world. I don't think you made progress on that today.
No, we talked about it, but no
Yeah.
progress yet.
We're getting there.
Mhm.
And then questions to ask as a team. Did we learn more about a threatening plot? And
Vaguely, for sure, yeah, a little bit.
kind of,
Kind
just
of
a little
maybe.
bit.
Yeah.
Undead hordes scraping the land with the necromancer raising dead as they go. Well,
Yeah. Did we connect with each other as a team?
Hell yeah.
yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, you did. Did we overcome a notable monster or enemy?
Social anxiety with each other.
I mean, it depends on
Uh,
if the wizard was supposed to be an enemy or had the
We-
potential to be an enemy because we made him a friend. I feel like we made him a friend. But there was no other monsters or things.
we can't count the one that was on the other side of the chasm.
I think that was the last
Yeah,
time.
Yeah, I think so
Yeah.
too.
So no for that. And then did we learn something new and important about the world?
Portals,
Mhm.
Lost Woods.
Don't stick your hand in a portal.
Yeah, few things. Sure.
Yeah, you
do
learned
what
a
Meep
few
does.
things. So everybody gets a pip for that. So you're already making some good progress on your next
We
level.
are.
Look at you go. And then let me take a look. So yeah, next week, 4 p.m. Pacific. Candace, would you like to tell us about your week, what you're up to?
This week, yes, I absolutely would love to tell you. Hi. This week it's going to be a good week. On Mondays, I host a talk show called What's Up Internet. That's at 4 p.m. PST. And then every other Tuesday, I do an 8 o'clock in the morning stream, 8 a.m. PST. And this Tuesday is early morning stream. So I'll be here. I think I'm going to be trying out Pokemon Legends Arceus. I think I'm going to start that. And then Wednesday, we're doing clip of the month for January. And then we're just going to continue on with Detroit Become Human on Thursday, where I'm trying to do a 1 Connor run. Yeah. so that's what's up on my channel this coming week.
Hell yeah. Pixel, would you like to tell us what you're up to this
Yeah.
upcoming week?
So I'm LostPixelPlays, he, him. This Tuesday, we're going to be breaking down and looking at the new season for Apex Legends. We're going to be looking at the new champion, looking at the changes, looking at the stuff, and trying out the new game mode, assuming the servers work. Because Apex, if you know, you know. On Wednesday, we're going to be jumping into some Dark Souls 3 to continue on as our anime protagonist. And then on Friday, we're going to be jumping back into RE2 to try to get out of the police station, which is where we're currently stuck and terrified.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Destiny, would you like to tell us what you're up to next week?
Yes. Hi, everybody. I'm Destiny, or HeyDestineeRea, pretty much everywhere on the internet. I normally stream Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday in the afternoons Pacific time. We might move it to Monday this week because Wednesday is my affiliate anniversary. And so we're going to be doing a slumber party stream, and I just want to give myself some time to prep for it. So Wednesday, if you want to come hang out, it'll be an evening stream instead. But yeah, it should be super fun. Otherwise, we'll be doing some crochet probably on Monday, and then Thursday, probably still hunting for Azalea.
You'll get her one day.
So
Well,
You can do
someday.
it.
Leaf.
Are you at 250 tickets?
Yeah.
I believe. You'll get it one day. And hello, I'm Del. I'm your DM here on Into the Darkness. I don't do anything regularly right now except for this because I'm still waiting on my new PC to get in here, but I'm supposed to have news about that over the next couple of days. In the meantime, the only event that I have planned right now is February 24th, which is my birthday. I will be doing my first 12-hour charity stream. I will be raising money for Games for Love, which attempts to, they bring games and consoles and distraction therapy to sick and disabled kids. So I am going to be doing that February 24th. It's going to feature a bunch of friends. It's going to feature a bunch of games. But in the meantime, I don't have a schedule. So check out my Twitter and I'll tell you what I'm up to there. And also tweet memes and cool stuff like that at DelTheLemon. So that's what I'm up to. Please, everybody, make sure you take a moment to follow all of these wonderful creators. They're amazing. I'm not biased at all, but they're so fucking incredible. And I love that I get to play games with them every Saturday night. Also, can we just like shout at the mods about how great they are? Y'all, these mods are incredible. They take care of us so that we can focus on storytelling, and we are just so appreciative that they make it so easy for us to just get lost in this game because we know they will do all of the things. They take out the trash. They do all of the stuff. All bits tonight go towards the mods, and again, if you want to support us, !DnD, and it will link to a Pally. But yeah, who wants an end credit scene? And before we get on out of here, so what we see for the end credits is all sorts of fake creatures. We see the Archfey of Autumn, who we saw before, weaving baskets and sewing. We see her standing in front of a field of fauna that is alive, and then we watch as she holds up her hand and the plants wither and die and then begin to stand up and move, and as undead plant creatures we see another character that we've never seen before but is very obviously spring because she has fresh blooms and cherry petals coming from her, and we see her hold out a hand and command a field of undead creatures, and we get shots of all of these different fey creatures leading and corralling these these undead. And then we see the back of a figure standing high up on a hill, like looking down on these hordes of undead. And then we get a shot of the face of Apara as she looks down at all of these undead. And then we cut to black.
Oh boy. It's gonna be fine. We'll be great.
It'll be fine.
Yeah. Well, Del, I could have missed it because we all know how my memory is. But did we hear from Concho?
I'm so
About-
sorry.
Okay, cool.
Oh, I
No.
I
know.
forgot to ask Concho to do the thing.
I'm so invested in
didn't-
this story that I just was like,
Destiny
okay,
caught
whatever,
it. Like,
I was like, I have been really distracted the last like 20 minutes, but did I miss this or no?
Sorry,
no.
Concho. What are you up to this week?
who are you?
Besides horrible anxiety from what's gonna happen next week in this game, no, my name is ConchoDreamer, he, him. You can catch me live Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, doing some variety streaming. Wednesdays, I live record my YouTube vlogs that you can catch every Friday. So that's new. And starting this like coming Monday, like in 2 days, I'm adding a new weekly video, and this one's gonna be watching internet cry over me saying technically it was supposed to be 30, but I realized I skipped 2, so 28 nice things about her when we were celebrating her 30th birthday.
Y'all aren't ready.
So you can find that over on the YouTubes, and yeah, find me on all social medias under the same name.
I ugly cried. Like you want to see me ugly cry? Watch
Well,
that
hear
YouTube
you.
video. Hear me. It's the same. So, Del, is there anything else that you were thinking? No, you're good.
If there is, I've forgotten.
Well,
Same.
everybody.
Mood.
I forgot Concho, so I'm not gonna say with any confidence
Concho forgot
that
himself,
I've
like,
remembered
right
all of
I
the
was
things.
yeah, no.
We were mesmerized.
Yep.
He's too busy staring
Okay.
at Concho dissolving into his chair to remember.
Yeah,
his turn.
Mhm.
In that case, I'm just gonna quickly say what Del said again. Like, thank you, mods. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you for the raids. Thank you for the people who lurked. Thank you for being here and supporting this. This is something we've all been working really hard on, and it's been incredibly fun.